We're good. We're good and we're live. And JEC is already here. Hi, hi, hi. Welcome, JEC. And welcome to the rest of you. This is a live stream where we do it live every Sunday at 7 p.m. Welcome. Welcome. Man, what a weekend I had. So I will tell you about it. And then we'll get into some box office. We will, of course, look at the trades. We'll be talking about the Warner Brothers deal, Netflix, Warner Brothers deal, alleged deal, I contend so far. So what did I do? I went to Shoreline Vintage on Saturday and the Laurel Springs tree lighting ceremony later that night. So here's the incredibly stupid day I had. And this is all on me. It's all on me. So normally, Shoreline Vintage starts their shows at 8 a.m. Super early. And I always remember that because they're the only event that starts at 8 a.m. Right? So I've done maybe, gosh, how many? I don't know, like 10 over the years. And I've known the guys who run it for a long time. And, long-ish, in terms of doing the Pineys. Since the beginning, I wanted to do the Richland event. And always at 8 a.m. Always at 8 a.m. So I missed his show in August because I had to do the New Jersey Folk Festival. And it got switched, and I had to go do that one because it was like a lot of money, and I'd never done it before, and it was the 50th anniversary. It was a whole thing. So when he asked me to do this one in the winter, I said, oh, absolutely. I feel bad I missed August. And then they announced, excuse me, they announced there was going to be freezing rain. Oh, Clint Miller's here. Clint Miller, please tell us about your weekend. How did you do? Oh, I'm telling. I had a stupid Saturday. I was going to do a video about this, but I never got around to doing it. So, I think it starts at 8. So I get up at 6:30 and get all ready, as I often do. I drive all the way down to Shoreline Vintage. And I get there. Now, normally I time it, right? I want to normally be at a place an hour ahead of time. This time, since it's so damn early, I said, what's the latest I could possibly be there and still look like I got there on time? Well, the show starts at 8. You're supposed to be set up at 8. So I said, let me get there. I'll leave at 7. It takes me 40 minutes to drive there. If I show up and I only have about 15 minutes to set up, I'll be like most of the way set up. They can't really, yell at me for that. So I get there exactly at 7:40 and no one's there. The place is empty. The field is empty. Shoreline's locked up. I'm like, oh my God. The freezing rain must have canceled the show. And I go, I didn't check my email. I'm an idiot. I'm such an idiot. I drive out and I start heading home. I'm beating myself up the whole way. How could you not check your email? Why didn't you check your email? You're supposed to check your email for these things. And I'm beating myself up. And then I said, I have no bread. Let me go to the bread store on the way home. So I'm in the bread store and I said, let me check my email and see what I got. See what happened. When did they cancel it? Are they doing it tomorrow? Because it's going to mess my whole weekend up now. And then I start warming up to the idea of not going all the way to Bridgeton today. Maybe that'll be better. It'll be nicer weather. Or I'll make more money. I don't know. So I look on my email. I got no email about the show being canceled. I'm like, oh my God, that's even worse. I've screwed this up. It was on a different day. It's not even today. What the hell did I do? I got up for nothing. And I get my bread. And now I'm having a meltdown in the car. And because I'm having a meltdown, I start thinking of other things I screwed up. I don't know why. And then I go, what's today? And it's really early in the morning and I can kind of not see too well. And I look at my phone and it says December 8th. It's actually the 6th. But I think it says the 8th. So I go, oh my God, I forgot to call my nephew. It was his birthday on the 6th. And then I go, wait a minute, the 8th. I was supposed to pay my bills by the 7th. Did I pay my bills? Did I pay my car insurance? I'm having a total meltdown in the car. And I'm like, I have to get home. And then I'm like, wait a minute, I may not have paid my car insurance. I'm driving in the freezing rain. You have to drive more careful. And then like there's like an imaginary Tony sitting next to me in the car going, calm down. You're going to get us killed. Just calm down. You're driving in the freezing rain. Indie Phantom. Wicked in decline. Trump may block Netflix deal. Things that make me happy. So I finally get home. And the first thing I do is I go, did I pay my bills? Did I pay my car insurance? It turned out, yes, I paid my car insurance. And then I check my email again. There's nothing in the email. And I'm like, how did I screw this up? So I start eating the breakfast I prepared for myself to eat at the show. And I'm sitting there relaxing with Joan. And I said, let me go to the Facebook page and see how I screwed this up. I go to the Facebook page. The show didn't start till 11. Somehow, for some reason, he made the show start later. And either it didn't register with me, or I didn't write it down, or he changed it at the last minute. I don't know. So now I look at the time. It's only 9 a.m. Indie Phantom, freezing rain, very scary, yes. It's only 9 a.m. and I'm like, oh no, now I have to go back because I have enough time to make it for 11 a.m. because it's only 40 minutes to drive there. I'm like, Joan, I have to go back. And Joan looks at me like, why did you leave? So I get back in the car and I drive all the way to F back to Shoreline Vintage and do the show. And that was my stupid Saturday. And then I did the Laurel Springs tree lighting ceremony, which was surprisingly well attended. They had the choir out there, and all the parents from the choir were there. So it was like 300 people. It was crazy in the middle of the town. And then today I did the Christmas Village in Bridgeton, New Jersey. And shout out to my fans in Bridgeton. Wow, what a great bunch of fans I have in Bridgeton. Those guys are loyal. I had so many people coming up to the table saying, I already bought some of your books. I'm reading this. I'm reading that. I'm on this book. I'm on that book. That's very gratifying. I sold some books down there, and that was nice. So that was my weekend. And then I just got this nice review of the Pineys here on Instagram. Shout out to that New Jersey book girl who reviewed it and liked it. As a South Jersey girl born and bred, I've always been fascinated by the legends and secrets of the infamous Pine Barrens and the Jersey Devils. So naturally, when I saw author Tony DiGerolamo at a booth earlier this year promoting his books, a series set in the Pine Barrens and breathing new life into an old legend, I had to grab this first one. I am so glad that I did. This short but intense tale had me internally cracking up, devouring each page like P.E. devours his victims. If you know, you know. Indie Phantom. 'Tis the season. This year went by quickly. It truly did. It truly did. Solid 4 stars. Cannot wait to get the rest of the series. Oh, thank you. Thank you, that New Jersey book girl. All right. Now, what you've been waiting for. We're going to get to the box office, Joan. She's mad I had to take her off my lap. I'm also still in my... I had... the long underwear on today because it was so cold. I'm not acclimated. I'm not acclimated, damn it. Anyhow, this is a crazy box office. I mean, look at this mess. I don't know if it's a mess. It's better. I mean, last week was higher, but this is still pretty good. It's almost like movies came back for a couple of weeks. What the hell? Clint Miller. I'm rereading the Piney series. You actually built some great characters. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, and I have an update on book 19. Vig just sent me the cover for 19. So, book 19 is that much closer to being finished. Now, if I get the copyright tomorrow, it's all good and I can post it. It should be posted by the end of tomorrow. So, we're just waiting on the copyright now. The cover is completed. I can't show it to you yet, but it's totally completed. Indie Phantom. Five Nights at Freddy's 2 came out of nowhere to me. Didn't even know it was on the horizon. I did, but the rumor is on Rotten Tomatoes, it didn't get a very good score. Which, again, I don't really go by Rotten Tomatoes. But I believe Rotten Tomatoes doesn't really have an axe to grind with Five Nights from Freddy's. But look at this disparity. 12% on the tomato meter. That's the legitimate critics, quote unquote, and 88% from the normies, which shows you once again how well critics do, and on Rotten Tomatoes. This to me is a clear win. Clint Miller, who is in Five Nights 2? The same dude from the first movie, and I guess his girlfriend. I don't know if she was in the first movie. What, Joan? All right, come here. Joan had a very tough weekend. I know, I was coming in and out all, but you were like, what the hell? What the hell? Take me for a walk. That's what you said. Man, you stink. All right, you sit on the floor. Go give yourself a bath. Five Nights at Freddy's audience is 15 years old. Yes, it's based on a video game. Indie Phantom. Remember, the first Freddy's made way more and was released on streaming day and date. Also, Matthew Lillard was in the first. Oh, he was? Is he dead? Is his character dead then? Let's take a look at the whole list. Five Nights. There it is. Five Nights at Freddy 2. Director Emma Tammy. Writer Scott Cawthorn. So Josh Hutcherson, who plays Mike, was definitely in the first one. Oh, Matthew Lilliard's again. Is he the guy? Is he like the scientist who builds the animatronics? I'm guessing. Clint Miller. Wasn't his character killed? I guess not. Or maybe there's a flashback. Oh, Wayne Knight is in it. Newman is in it. As Mr. Berg. Indie Phantom. I saw The Running Man with my stupid friend. Worst King adaptation this year. And there were many. Haven't seen First Night at Freddy's. Yeah, it's based on a video game. Let's see. Let's go to the first one. Five Nights at Freddy's. Here it is from 2 years ago. Looks like the same basic team. Oh, Mary Stuart Matheson is in it. Is she in the sequel? Not seeing her in the sequel, so maybe her character got whacked. Indie Phantom. Lillard was the manager of the first of the place, I think. It looks basically the same-ish cast. Let's see. Abby is the girlfriend. Was Abby in the first one? Yeah. So same. Abby and Vanessa and Matthew Lilliard's character were all in the first one. Wayne Knight was he in the first one? I don't think he was. No. Newman. So, it's based on a video game. See, a troubled security guard begins working at Freddy's Fazbear Pizza. During his 5 nights on the job, he realizes that something is wrong with the pizzeria and pretty soon finds out the truth about the animatronics. So I think in the game, you have to run around avoiding the animatronics and trick them in ways that get them killed and whatnot. You know, it's like a video game. This continues the story. I think him and his girlfriend have a daughter, and so in this movie, she breaks into Freddy's, and then they have to go in and save her. I think something like that. I think it's pretty dumb. It's not something for me. Definitely not something for me. It you know why I really hate it? is because it reminds me of the horrible Banana Splits movie, which was very similar to this pitch. It was the Banana Splits in some sort of Chuck E. Cheesy type atmosphere, and then they're animatronic and they come to life and start killing people. And I just immediately hated that entire thing. Clint Miller, I think Piper Rubio was the little girl, not the girlfriend. Oh, okay. Oh, that's Abby. Oh, okay. So she was in the first one too. Vanessa might be the girlfriend then. Indie Phantom. I did watch the documentary series OJ made in America from 2016. Nearly 8 hours, but worth the binge. Really shows lots I didn't know. Mofo was making bank on autographs from prison. Well, that's that's where those guys make their money after they retire a lot of times, just going to shows. It's weird that he still was making it from prison. Indie Phantom, the Banana Splits was a goofy little piece. I am a huge fan of the original Banana Splits, so to disparage the Banana Splits name by turning them into a bunch of murderous animatronic toys made me mad. I wanted to file a lawsuit. Even though I don't own the Banana Splits, I feel like I do, because I watched them when I was a kid. But 63 million isn't bad. It's not anything to really write home about back in the 80s or 90s, but it's not bad. You know, let's see, what's its budget? The budget's probably not that high. Indie Phantom, I hadn't known the Banana Splits before the horror flick. Well, they were the host of a cartoon show on Saturday mornings for Hanna-Barbera cartoons that weren't popular enough to have their own cartoon. So they were really obscure Banana Split Hanna-Barbera characters. And the Banana Splits were guys in mascot costumes who would tell bad jokes and play musical instruments. But they didn't really play them because it was all pre-recorded. And Barry White wrote one of the songs on the Banana Splits called Doing the Banana Splits, y'all. So look that up. It's a good song. Let's see. This made 109 million its first weekend. Wow, it actually did okay overseas. It cost 51. That's going to be money. It's definitely going to make money. Clint Miller, Fleagle, Bingo, Drooper, and Snork. Clint knows. That's the name of the Banana Splits. I was such a big fan of the Banana Splits, I went to the boardwalk to see them live, which they weren't live because it's guys in mascot costumes pretending to play instruments that they couldn't possibly play because they're, in the mascot costume. But I was very excited. I was 10. And I had a t-shirt with the Banana Splits on it. So this is why this movie doesn't jibe with me. But you can like it. I mean, I understand why people who played the video game would like it. That would be... It was a fairly popular video game from what I understand. It doesn't look like a bad video game. I would play the video game. I wouldn't watch the movie, though. Number 2 is Zootopia, coming in at 43 million. That's not too shabby either. However, that is a drop-off of 57%, so it doesn't really have legs. This is a sequel, and it is going up against Five Nights at Freddy's, which has some overlap. But, oh my God, overseas, look at the international box office. It's almost 700 million. That is crazy numbers. Indie Phantom, thought this was weird release time for Freddy's, but seems to have worked out. Yeah, it really should have dropped in October. This movie would have crushed in October. But, I think they probably were shooting for October, but who knows? Wait for the Wicked decline. Wait for it. But look at this Zootopia. It's almost at $1 billion. It will be at $1 billion. Next week, this is $1 billion. Easy. Because look at the international box office. We're at almost 700 million. That's crazy. The Chinese love their talking zoo animals, don't they? I mean, it's doing okay here. What was the budget on this thing? No budget. Jesus. Yeah, that's... Oh, well, look at the international. That's got to be China. China's done over 300 million just in China, or about 300 million just in China. That's nuts. Clint Miller, would you watch Ariana Grande lick a donut? I don't like women who are too skinny. And she wasn't before, but now she is. No thank you. Indie Phantom. Thing is, China takes most of the bank. Well, that's not good. What the hell are you doing, Disney? You're giving China money. Once again, Disney giving the communist money. For what exactly? Maybe it's not China trying to take over Hollywood. Maybe they already took over Disney. Jesus. What the hell is wrong with you, Disney? Stop shooting in China. Stop releasing movies in China. Make that... Dictate the terms. If you stop sending them movies, guess what? They're going to run out of movies pretty quick. They make a few of them. Some of them have even done okay, but they're going to get pretty bored of their movies pretty fast. All right, here it is. Number 3, Wicked for Good. In its third week, a drop-off of 73%. Oh, my. Oh, my. Indie Phantom. Yeah, they only get 25% of China's earnings. 25%? That is an outrage. Disney especially could kick that up. So, really, for Disney, that's only 250K or 250 million. That's not good. They gave China $500 million. Never give communists $500 million. Wicked, no good. Ha! Ha! 16.75 million, dropping by 73%. Well, that is the third week, but that's still pretty high for a third week. But I think it's already made its money. Yes, it has. Well, not quite. It will. It needs, let's see, 300 plus 75, 370. Oh, no, it did make its money. Yes, it did. Yes, this is money in the bank. And I don't care. I'm just glad it's going away. I hope it goes away quickly. How many theater majors are there out there? Are you people just going to the movies nonstop? Is that why this movie's doing well? But number 4 is another anime thing. Jujutsu Kaisen Execution. I have no idea. No idea what this is about. 35 million worldwide on a budget of, we don't know. But it made 10.1 million domestically. I don't know. That seems kind of low for a cartoon, but it might have not cost a tremendous amount of money. But people are seeing anime. I don't know why. I mean, some of it's cool. I loved Akira. I watched Akira, but... And I do like some anime, but I'm surprised it's penetrating so deep. Number 5 is Now You See Me, Now You Don't, dropping from 3 to 5, 3.5 million in its fourth week. Interesting. Number 6 is Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair, on a new cut. It's re-released. I think it's a whole run, right? It's both movies cut together. Indie Phantom, my question now: will Avatar finally be put the F to rest Used to look forward to Cameron. Now I avoid him like the plague. Now I don't see. Now I don't see. Now you see me. Yeah, the same thing with Cameron. Like, after Terminator 2, I thought, this is the greatest filmmaker alive. I love this man. I cannot wait for Terminator 3. And then he did make it. Some other hack apparently made Terminator 3 and F that all up. But Terminator 2, man, at the time I was like, this is like a perfect movie. What will be next? It must will be good. Oh, it will be very good. And then it was not. Well, I guess he made The Abyss after that, and that was okay. And then I was like, well, he'll go back to fun, exciting movies soon. And then I guess he made Titanic. And then I was like, this is boring. But it made a lot of money, so I guess. But he'll come back soon to the Terminator. Just you wait, everybody. And then he did Avatar. Ugh. I would love to see. He's already laying the groundwork for Avatar to fail. He said something in an interview. What was it? It was something like, I don't know if there'll be another Avatar movie after this, because I think they're getting tired of paying his bills. I guess the last one didn't do as well, and maybe their projections on this one aren't too good. Gee, I wonder why. Did everybody finally get wise to the movie is nothing? Indie Phantom, the Kill Bill thing had some added anime, and that's about it. Those flicks are long on their own, and honestly, not my favorite Quentin Tarantino. Later, Tony, you need to go through QT's best of the new century list, which he just released. Yui Bowl made a decent response to it. There are 20 flicks. Only problem is Cameron is threatening a new Terminator. See, now it's too late, because they ruined the Terminator franchise. I mean, that franchise is done, like Doctor Who done. You can't go back. Like, the only shining moment maybe was when they did the TV series. And for a brief second I thought, oh, they might be able to work this into a... No, it didn't work. So, no. It shouldn't have gotten another sequel anyway. Quite frankly, you should have stopped at 2. Really should have stopped at 1, technically, but 2 was a lot of fun. Maybe if he had done one right on the heels of 2, like a 2-3 combo, and wrapped the whole thing up, maybe. But Terminator was a victim of the, we must subvert our audience's expectations. So, remember when Christian Bale played John Connor? Remember that? That movie was boring. I saw that. I was like, what the hell is this? Did not work. But the new Kill Bill thing made $3.5 million. That's, some money for Lionsgate. I have two shares of Lionsgate, and it hasn't gone back to its original price since. This is not financial advice, but I really regret my 2-share purchase of Lionsgate. I've been looking to sell that thing ever since. Although I'll say this, my Paramount stock went up. That's above what I paid for it. And I was hoping with the new merger with Warner Brothers, it would have went up again. But no. Indie Phantom. The most entertaining thing about Salvation was Bale screaming at the DP. Yeah, it's a really boring and dumb movie. And Sam Worthington's in it, and he's boring and dumb too. I don't know. They say he was great in the Rome TV show, but Sam Worthington, I just don't get. He seems as stiff as a board to me. JEC. The freak out Bale had on set that footage leaked from was more memorable than the Terminator movie. he was making. It was pretty funny. I remember that. I also like Tom Cruise's freak out too. That was during COVID. It was a COVID freak out thing. Number 7 is Eternity in its second week only drops 14%. Oh, that's because it wasn't in theaters. It was only in 1,000 theaters and they jacked it up. So what's that mean? That probably means it really should be at about 65%, 68%, I'm going to guess. If you did that correctly, those numbers should be absolute trash for the second week. But they jammed it in more theaters, so I guess it looks like it has legs. Next week will be its actual second week, I guess you could say. 2.7 million. Eternity does not look good. Looks like a boring version of Defend Your Life. Number 8 is dropping or going up from 9 is Hamnet. This is also in its second week, and they also put it in more theaters. This is more Oscar bait. 2.3 million. So I don't think anybody's seeing this. Number 9 dropping from 4. Predator Badlands, 1.8 million. Still in 2,000 theaters though. Weird. So here's your choices. You're a theater owner. You have a choice. You've got Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair, brand new, or do you put in Predator Badlands? Like for another week. I don't know, man. That's a tough call. But I would lean towards the Kill Bill simply because people already saw it and they already liked it. Predator Badlands, it's in 2,000 theaters. Kill Bill is only in 1,100. So, although it is super long, so maybe you charge them double? I don't know. Number 10. Indie Phantom. Predator Badlands had a digital release and I didn't even bother pirating it. Just no. How bad is a movie if you don't bother to steal it? That's pretty bad. Hey, you want to steal this movie? Oh, no. No, that's okay. It's free. It's all absolutely free. No, you won't get caught. It's a pristine copy. Can't possibly get caught. That's okay. That sounds like a pretty bad movie. Indie Phantom. That Kill Bill release was rumored as far back as 2005? Wow. What the hell took so long? Quentin. Too busy complaining about Paul Dano for some reason. I think he's just trying to get back in the news. But Running Man dropped from 5 to 10, 1.1 million in its fourth week, dropping out of 1,200 theaters. Still in 1,500. Sounds like 1,500 theaters too many. JEC. Oh, wait. I skipped one. Indie Phantom. I would say most movies I don't even still. Even worse, I still feel ripped off even after not paying. JEC. You can do more showings of Predator. In theory, Kill Bill will lose you money because it's so long, fewer showings in a day. Yeah, I was thinking that too. You'd have to charge double. I don't know if people would pay that. Oh, number 11. This is a movie I want to see, and it looks amazing. Fackham Hall. Fackham Hall is a parody of Downington Abbey, but it's also stars and is co-written by Jimmy Carr, a really good stand-up comedian out of the UK. He's very offensive. Highly recommend Jimmy Carr if you haven't seen him. Highly recommend Fackham Hall unseen, because I definitely am going to see this. It's only in 1,100 theaters, and it only did $620K in its first week, which is a shame, because it sounds like it's going to be good. JC, he's been saying the same thing about Paul for years now. Indie Phantom. Steel. Oh. Indie Phantom sounds funny. But why Paul Dano? Why, of all people, pick on Paul Dano? It seems weird to pick on Paul Dano. Like, what did he do to... Like, if you found out later that Paul Dano banged his girlfriend or something, you'd be like, oh, okay. Or if Paul Dano promised to do his movie and then backed out at the last minute, you'd be like, okay. Doesn't seem like he's never worked with Paul Dano. And Paul Dano is not one of these outspoken a-holes. Why is he suddenly picking on Paul Dano? Indie Phantom. Tony, where's your review of Begonia? In hell. You'll have to get that review in hell, because that's where I'll end up watching it when the demons torture me. They'll say, all right, what can we show you next? And I'll be like, Citizen Kane? And they'll laugh. You are funny. No, we're going to show you Begonia for 1,000 years. Yeah, it looks bad. JEC, it might be personal, but he just doesn't like his acting? Yeah, but like, what does it get him to publicly humiliate an actor as a director? That, like, in the world of comics, and this is sort of a similar thing, the number one rule is, if you're a writer or a publisher, you never diss the artist, ever. Like, even if you don't like his art, you would never diss him openly, because you got to work with those guys. Now, Tarantino is supposedly retiring. He's got one more movie to do. But, like, it's just bad form. It's poor form. Like, he has no reason to publicly shame the guy. None that I could see. Indie Phantom, like, it's one thing to say, well, I don't really care for his performance, which is sort of a more diplomatic way of saying it. But, like, to say he's the weakest guy in SAG, that's pretty biting. That's like, he's being nasty, in my view. Indie Phantom. The weird thing is that Paul Dano is in There Will Be Blood, and that's number 5 on Quentin's list. And he's a friend of PTA. Weird. Although I also don't like Paul Dano, so F him. He's good as the Riddler. He's a great Riddler. He's probably one of the best Riddlers next to John Astin. John Astin would be my favorite in everything. Also, Frank Gorshin is pretty good in it, too. But Paul Dano's version of it is really good. I mean, you could argue it's really Matt Reeves' version, but yeah, he's good as the Riddler. And he's good in There Will Be Blood. That's about all I've seen him in, I think. I know he's been in more. After Fackham Hall is Rental Family. That's a new Brendan Fraser movie, where he's in basically a movie that somebody else did in Germany. It's almost the same exact plot. 577K. Sentimental Value. Rental Family dropped from 7 to like 12. Sentimental Value dropped to 13 from 12. 328K. It's an art house flick. Indie Phantom. No love for Carrey's abominable version of the Riddler. Oh, God, no. No. I don't even count that one. That wasn't the Riddler. That was just Jim Carrey. Let's see. After that, 100 Nights of Hero from IFC Entertainment. I think I watched the trailer for this, and I think I hated it. 250K. The Secret Agent. This is I think it's a film out of Brazil in its second week. It's an art house thing. They may be pushing it for an Oscar as well. Indie Phantom. Fraser's Oscar hype has already died, if there was any. Well, he was getting it for the Fat movie, but not for this. Regretting You still hanging around at somewhere around number 15 in its 7th week. There's Begonia. $80,000, still in 70 theaters. 70 theaters that hate their patrons. I can't understand why no one's going to movies anymore. After that is Rosemead. I don't know what that is. It's in one theater. but it made 50 grand. That's a pretty packed theater. Rosemaid. An ailing woman uncovers a terrifying secret. Her teenage son is consumed by violent impulses. As her health rapidly declines, she's forced into a desperate struggle. How far will she go to stop what she fears he is becoming? And what is she willing to sacrifice to protect him? Oh, wow. That does sound pretty good. And it's Lucy Liu. Huh. Sounds like a Lucy Liu trying to go for an Oscar. JEC. Every time I've heard him talking about Paul Dano, it's in the context of There Will Be Blood. He loves that movie, but thinks the only flaw is Paul Dano. I think people try to defend him, so he triples down. Didn't he get nominated for the Fat movie? I think he did. I believe he did. I don't know. I think Paul Dano's fine in There Will Be Blood. Like, There Will Be Blood is the sort of movie you watch it, and you don't know how else could it have been portrayed, right? It's so weird in its tone and presentation. It's like, I don't know how else this could have gone. But he seems to be acting the hell out of it. I mean, Daniel Day-Lewis is scary in that movie. He effing kills the dude. After Rosemead, it's one battle after another. $21,000, still in 31 theaters. Oh, my God. Make it go away, will you? I know you're going to jam a bunch of Oscars into the hands of the guys who made this and then re-release it, trying to make its money back. It's not going to work, Hollywood. Next up, The Chronology of Water. Who the hell directed this? Somebody famous. I think Kristen Stewart. In 2 theaters. Kristen Stewart was bitching about movies and how... What did she say? She made some stupid communist comment like, it's the ultimate... doing movies is like the ultimate capitalist move, and everybody's racist and sexist, and that's why nobody can get their message out, or some BS like that. Yeah, Kristen Stewart. Let's read. This is a book. Growing up in an environment torn apart by violence and alcohol, a young woman struggles to find her path. She manages to escape her family and enters university, where she finds refuge in literature. Gradually, words offer her unexpected freedom. Okay, sounds boring, but you, Kristen Stewart. Also premiering La Grazia in 1 theater. And President Mariano DeSantis' term is coming to an end, disparagingly nicknamed Cemento Aramato for his intractable nature and overly careful approach to politics. He has grown lonely in the echoing halls of the presidential palace, mourning the loss of his wife and listening to hip-hop. Before returning to civilian life, DeSantis must make a series of bold decisions, a pair of presidential pardons, and a groundbreaking policy bill that will cement his legacy. That's kind of an odd pitch. I don't know if I want to see this, because it seems to take place in a foreign country where the presidential deal is different. So I don't know. I don't know if I would see something like that. Indie Phantom. Kristen Stewart is textbook bad choices. Indie Phantom. He won, JEC, The Whale. Indie Phantom. Governor DeSantis. No, it's a character. Different DeSantis. But it's weird that his name is DeSantis. I think that's just a coincidence. And then at the bottom is Rebuilding in 27 theaters for $8,228, and Mistress Dispeller for $3,972, for a grand total of $149,840,386. So not bad. Last week was like 180 something. So this is at least acceptable after a dismal October and November. Seems to be coming back a little. A little. We haven't gotten to Christmas yet, so we'll see what happens. But there are a lot of losers on this list. I don't know, what would I see on this list? I would see maybe Kill Bill, but I wouldn't go to theaters for it. I'm definitely going to see Fackham Hall. That looks good. And that's about it. Maybe La Grazia? I mean, if it came on, you know, streaming, maybe. But the rest look boring. Five Nights at Freddy's, I don't think I could sit through it. I think I would watch maybe the first one, but the first one and the second one look pretty similar. It looks like the same plot. Zootopia, I wouldn't waste my time. Wicked for Good, that one's waiting for me in hell. And yeah, so that's all right. Let's go to this list of Quentin Tarantino movies. List of Quentin Tarantino's all-time favorites. I think it is all-time favorite movies, or was it just? It's just for. No, it's just for 2025, I think. Yeah, here it is. All right. Where's the list? Quentin Tarantino named Rick. Well, you can't just give me a nice list. Ridley Scott's Black Hawk Down, best movie of the 21st century, saying Scott's feat of direction is beyond extraordinary. I still haven't seen this movie, but I've heard great things, so that seems like a good pick. Number 2, Toy Story 3. I love Toy Story 3. I love that movie. That's a good one. That's a good one. Indie Phantom favorite of the century. That is the one. Oh, okay. Yeah. So I do like those first two picks. Sofia Coppola's Lost in Translation. Are you out of your mind, dude? That's one of the most boring movies. Only Sofia Coppola can make Bill Murray boring. God, and depressing. And Scarlett Johansson not hot. I mean, it has everything wrong with the movie. You shot it in Japan, so there's no cool Japanese stuff. Bill Murray's boring. Scarlett Johansson is just there. I mean, that's a terrible movie. I saw it too. I struggled through it. I was waiting for something to happen. Indie Phantom Black Hawk Down is excellent. It had a heavy backlash for its depiction of the enemy at the time. Non-stop action. QT dated Sophia. Oh, okay. Christopher Nolan's Dunkirk. I've heard great things about that. It looks cool. And Tom Hardy's in it, so I would go see it. Paul Thomas Anderson's There Will Be Blood. It is very good. It is very unusual and memorable. So it's not a bad choice. David Fincher's Zodiac, number 6. It is an amazing movie. I was shocked how good it was. I started watching it thinking like, oh, it's going to be boring and, they're just going to go through the motions and whatever. It was really compelling. Everybody's great in it. Robert Downey Jr. is amazing. I got to hand it to Mark Ruffalo. He's really good in that movie. That's number 6. Tony Scott's Unstoppable. Unstoppable. I don't remember this movie. What is Unstoppable? Denzel Washington and Chris Pine. Unstoppable. With an unmanned half-mile-long freight train Barreling towards a city, veteran engineer and young conductor race against the clock to prevent a catastrophe? Really? Okay. Seems like an odd pick. I don't know. Maybe it's good. Indie Phantom, I still need to see the director's cut of Zodiac, which is said to be even better. It's really good. JEC, I hated the Social Network so much I avoid David Fincher movies. Zodiac really works, though. Indie Phantom, Unstoppable was weak, in my opinion. Runaway train thing. Yeah, that's what it looks like. It's weird that he picked that. Next is George Miller's Mad Max Fury Road. I mean, it was okay. You know, Mad Max without Mad Max. Indie Phantom, QT loves Scott. He sure does. Number 8, Edgar Wright's Shaun of the Dead. Awesome. I love that. Oh, wait, that was number 9. And number 10 is Midnight in Paris from Woody Allen. That was really good. I did enjoy that. So this was best movies of the 21st century. Yeah, I don't know if I'd pick this. I'd have to really crunch the numbers to really think about this. I mean, it's not the worst list I've ever seen, but yeah, really curious choices, though. Indie Phantom, Zodiac is the best from that list, but I do love Black Hawk Down and Shaun of the Dead. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. I mean, 25 years of... There's some stuff from the early 2000s that got to be better than some of these movies. But, yeah, Mad Max Fury Road, I mean, that's such a weak-ass pick. That's such a mid pick. I mean, it's perfectly fine, but... Indie Phantom, you would never guess the new Running Man was the same guy who made Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz. My personal fave, Edgar Wright. Yeah, I know. And I think, what was the other one? The one was like the bar at the end of the world or something. That one's pretty good too. I enjoy that movie. Indie Phantom, Black Hawk Down might be the last really good Ridley Scott movie if memory serves. Yeah, I heard a lot of great things, but I never got to see it. JC, I love Fury Road. It's perfectly fine, but I don't find... Well, I love the original Mad Max movies much better, but... I mean, Fury Road is fine, but it's not... To me, it's not... It doesn't rise above the previous movies. It feels like it's a remake by another guy. Indie Phantom, God, he made the whole concept of Running Man boring. That's weird. You had expected so much more for Edgar Wright. JC, I'd put Bronson with Tom Hardy on my list. Oh, yeah, that movie. That is a great movie. I mean, anything with Tom Hardy. I'll tell you a movie I'd put on that list is The Drop. It's James Gandolfini's last movie, and Tom Hardy's in it. And Tom Hardy destroys. He absolutely destroys in that movie. The ending of that movie is friggin' phenomenal. It's friggin' phenomenal. If you haven't seen The Drop, holy cow. What an ending. Indie Phantom, Black Hawk Down is a quick watch. Original Mad Max trilogy superior. Oh yeah, I heard Bronson was solid. It really is. It's very intense. Yeah, Tom Hardy's just, man. And that TV series he did that takes place in the 1800s, that's a really good show. It just ends, though, with a lot of threads still unraveled. But it's really done well. I mean, when Tom Hardy's in it, it just, the whole movie comes up. That's why I like the first Venom movie's really good. Up to a point. Indie Phantom, I would put Dragged Across Concrete, The Wolf of Wall Street, The Golden Glove, not for everyone, on my list. I haven't seen the other two, but The Wolf of Wall Street is an amazing movie. I love that movie too. Oh gosh. I can't think of anything. I'm so fried from the weekend. Let's see. Best movies of the 21st century list. Give me a list. And here's from the New York Times. Nah, screw you, New York Times. Here we go. Hollywood Reporter. Come on, give me the list. Weekend, don't know that. Black Panther, nah, it shouldn't be on there. Time, don't know that. Bright Star, don't know that. Pariah, don't know that. Bridesmaid, doesn't belong on the list. Things to Come, don't know that. Grizzly Man, don't know that. Never Really, I don't know that. Pan's Labyrinth, I mean, it looks cool. JC, Fury Road is way better than Thunderdome. You could make an argument Road Warrior is better than Fury Road, but it's like apples and oranges to me. Indie Phantom, also Django Unchained for me. That's pretty good. Summer of Soul, didn't see that. I'm not going to read that title. Oh, there you go. Children of Men. I love that movie. That's a great movie. That should be on the list right there. Indie Phantom, Jesus, this list is from absolute hell. I thought this would be okay. Wendy and Lucy, don't know that. I don't know that. I don't know that. Social Network, no. It was good. I mean, I thought it was watchable. But I wouldn't put it on the list. Portrait of a Lady, The Return. What are these movies? Marie Antoinette, no. No. A Serious Man, that's pretty good. That's a Coen Brothers movie. Indie Phantom, JEC. Thunderdome was a significant drop, but still has great action. At Berkeley, I don't know that one. I don't know that. Don't know that. Don't know that. What a list. Parasite. Didn't say it. Didn't say it. Didn't say it. Are any of these movies from America? Okay. I saw this one. It's okay. I wouldn't put it on the list. JC, you could out a Ghibli movie on the list for the weebs. Social Network is an effing piece of mess. Power of the Dog. These movies, I don't know. No Country for Old Men. I like that movie. That's good. That's a good movie. Indie Phantom, Zodiac, and Seven were the best Fincher movies. He made Mank flick for Netflix, which I haven't seen. JC, Thunderdome is lame and gay. Wall-E. I like Wall-E. I don't know if I'd put it on the list. It is really good, though. It's very cute. Don't know that. Don't know that. Boyhood, I sort of know. Get Out. Nah, it's not on the list. Don't know that. What are these movies? Don't know that. Brokeback Mountain? No. Spirited Away? No. Mulholland Drive? Maybe. There's Zodiac, okay. Don't know that. Inside Llewellyn Davis? It's pretty good, I guess. And Yee Yee. I don't even know the top movie you picked, Hollywood Reporter, you friggin' idiots. I gotta go to some other list. That was terrible. That was one of the worst lists ever. Here's the 100 best movies of the 21st century from Rolling Stone. They're a little more poppy, but... Indie Phantom, I do prefer No Country for Old Men to There Will Be Blood. JEC, Eternal Sunshine is good. It's all right. Indie Phantom, for comedy, I might be alone, but I loved Observe and Report. Yes, Seth Rogen movie. I agree. It's the only time he's acting. Indie Phantom, never saw Wall-E or Toy Story 3 and 4. They're good. I think they're good. What about Up? Up is amazing. JEC, I think you should put one Pixar movie. I would put Up. Indie Phantom, F Brokeback Mountain. JEC, Brokeback? Gay. Indie, Mulholland Drive is a cool watch for sure. JEC, that is not the second best movie of the 21st century. All right, let's see. This Rolling Stone seems to have more stuff. It's a giant list, though. Margaret, don't know that. Winter's Bone. Oh, that's a great movie. I love that. I might put that on the list. That would definitely be in the candidates. It might get crossed off after further pruning, but that's a really good movie if you haven't seen it. That's Jennifer Lawrence's really breakout role. JC, that is not the second best movie of the 20. Oh, I read that one. Indie Phantom, Up was too sappy for me. You must be made of stone not to cry in that credit sequence. JC, the first 5 minutes of Up is amazing. The rest is just pretty good. Winter's Bone, very good. Don't know that. Don't know that. City of God, I've heard of, but I didn't see it. Don't know that. The Hurt Locker, no. Doesn't belong on here. Not a great movie. It's okay. Indie Phantom, I need to see Winter's Bone. The one where Jennifer Lawrence gets boned in the snow. LeMay is here. I had to read and watch Brokeback Mountain for a writing class. I thought it was lame. Oh my God. Indy. F crying at Pixar. Oh, come on. Up is good. Don't know that. Don't know that. What is that? Don't know that. Don't know that. What are these movies? Don't know that. Fantastic Mr. Fox. That is pretty good. I wouldn't put it on the list, but it is good. I haven't seen this one. I hear it's decent enough. Probably not on the list. Oppenheimer I still haven't seen, but I don't know if I'll ever see it. It's so long. Lincoln, probably not. Dogtooth, don't know that. Don't know that. Don't know that. Don't know that. Best in Show. I love Best in Show. Again, I might put it on the list initially, but it would probably get paired off. Indie Phantom. Best Catherine Bigelow movies are Point Break, Strange Day, and Near Dark. Mic drop. Near Dark is amazing. I love Near Dark. Didn't know she directed that. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. It's pretty good, but I don't know if I'd put it on the list. Punch Drunk Love. Didn't see it. JC. Lincoln was boring. Zone of Interest. I don't know that. Uncut Gems. I couldn't get through Uncut Gems. I watched about 15 minutes and bailed. Indie Phantom. Dogtooth is constantly recommended to me. John Wick. John Wick, again, would probably be on my initial list. It probably wouldn't make the final cut, but it is good. Michael Clayton also, too, is pretty damn good. I don't know that. Don't know that. Oh, God, that should not be on any list other than movies that suck. Grizzly Man, don't know that. The Souvenir, don't know that. Her, no. Leviathan, don't know that. The Royal Tenenbaums, that would be, if I had to pick one Wes Anderson to put on the list, it would be that one. That is his best movie. Still his best movie. Really good. Indie Phantom, I really don't like Punch Drunk Love despite Sandler doing well. Seriously, I really liked Uncut Gems. John Wick burned out. I don't know that. Don't know that. 40-Year-Old Virgin is very funny. I don't know if it would hold up, but it is very good. I laughed at it. Indie Phantom. Grizzly Man is the doc where the dude befriends a bear and then it eats him. No lie. JC. Grizzly Man was a documentary. It's pretty good. AI. Oh, that movie sucks. Come on. That movie sucks, eh? JC. I like Grand Budapest Hotel. That is really good. I do love that. I wonder if it'll be on this list. Inglourious Bastards. No. No. 1,000 times no. I do not like half that movie. Tree of Life. No. A Prophet. Call me. I don't know that. I don't know that. Memento. Maybe. It's pretty good. Indie Phantom. The Florida Project. Very good. Director of Honora. And Defoe is great in it. Oh, I might check that out. I love Honora. Honora was great. Hey, that should be on the list. 28 Days Later, nah, it's not that good. And this is a guy who watches every zombie movie that comes out. It's okay. It's not. Black Panther shouldn't be on this list. It's fine. It's a decent movie, but come on. JC, Inglourious Bastard is good. Half of it is good, I would argue. Indie Phantom, I agree that Inglourious Basterds might be the weakest Q2 movie. It's hard to say. Memento is a decent flick. JC, Nolan peaked with Memento. Indie Phantom, Florida Project is worth your time, Tony. All right. Oh, wait. What are we on? Okay, Hunger? I don't know that. But Michael Fassbender. Anchorman? Ooh, that might be on the list. That might be on the list. Don't know that. There's Wall-E again. Selma? No. Under the Skin? No. It is. I've seen it. It's got some interesting scenes, but it's not great. Oh, The Master. That's a pretty good movie. I don't know. Maybe. Again, I'd put it on the candidate list and probably cross it off. JC, Hateful Eight is the worst Q2 movie. Yeah, I almost said that when you were talking about the worst movie. But I don't know. Like, Hateful Eight never really gives me any expectation that it's going to get any better. But, like, Inglourious Basterds raised my expectations and then dashed them. So, I don't know which to pick. Indie Phantom. Anchorman is a great freaking comedy. Under the Skin is slow. The Master has great acting. Yes. Yes to all those. Oh, sorry. I clicked too high. All right. The Master. Okay. Tar. Nah. The Dark Knight. It is good. I like it. Spring Breakers. I have to see that. I still kind of want to see that. Burning. Don't know that. Don't know that. Didn't see this. Don't know that. Manchester by the Sea. Phantom. I don't know these. Lord of the Rings. Yes. That should be on the list. You have to put it all together, but yeah. JC, the whole thing with Hateful Eight is you're waiting for the twist who is scheming, but the payoff is lame. Yeah, the only thing good in it is Kurt Russell's great in it, and then he dies. Indie Phantom, JC, you might be right. I want to see the miniseries version of Hateful Eight. Best recent QT is Once Upon a Time, and I love Django. JC, Spring Breakers is cringe. Indie Phantom, Spring Breakers I really like, but most because I freaking Candy is not just the women. And not just the women. Oh, okay. History of Violence. That is a pretty good movie. But the problem is it's supposed to be mafia guys. And nobody in the movie looks like a mafia guy. Don't know who that is. There's No Country for Old Men, finally. The Irishman does not belong on this list. Al Pacino's amazing. Everything else in the movie sucks. JC, Scarface on repeat. Scarface on repeat. Don't know that. Indy, I still need to see History of Violence. Don't know that. Children of Men is awesome. I would put that on the list. There's Grand Budapest. Maybe on the list. Don't know that. Don't know that. Get Out is not on the list. It's fine. I don't know that. There's Zodiac, definitely on the list, or in the mix anyway. Inside Llewellyn Davis is okay. Eternal Sunshine is okay. I probably wouldn't go on my final list. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, that might go on my final list. I do like it. Indie Phantom, The Irishman was good, but just because we were happy to see a new gangster flick from Scorsese. I was happy to see Joe Pesci back, but I think De Niro drops the ball in that one. And the effect doesn't work. Don't know that. Don't know that. No. A Separation. OJ Made in America. Didn't see it. Boyhood. I heard things. I don't want to say it. Mulholland Drive. Maybe. I don't know that. Does not belong this high up there. Fury Road. Don't know that. Don't know that. I sort of know this. I don't know. Don't know that. In the what? There Will Be Blood. Okay, at least an American movie made the top list. Indie Phantom. 25th Hour is a decent Spike Lee movie, mostly because Edward Norton is excellent and a good plot. Watch Casino again. Awesome. That's the OJ series I just mentioned. There was another OJ TV movie. I don't know if you guys saw it. It had, what's her face in it? Oh, God. The woman who played Marcia Clark, who is in the American Horror Story TV show. I can't think of her name, but man, that was a good miniseries about the trial. Oh, God. That was a real good one, but that's not a movie, so. All right, this is the best. I don't want to risk another list. These lists are bad. Let's get into the trades over at Fandom Pulse. Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings Extended Editions return to theaters this January. So if you're not doing anything between January and February, and you'd like to see one very long movie, bring a catheter. Indie Phantom, but this doc is another level. Oh wait, I missed Indie Phantom. The TV series of OJ also had John Travolta. It is great too, but this doc is another level. Really? Does it go into the theory that his son committed the murder? Because that's an amazing theory. Apparently, there are pictures of OJ's son, and he's wearing the knit hat, the shoes, and possibly the gloves. And they're saying that the reason OJ looks so guilty, or initially denied all his guilt, but then later looked incredibly guilty, was that the idea was he was going to take all the heat and possibly go to jail for his son for the murders, so he would never be tried. And then it just happened to work out that he ended up not in jail. But that his son has a really bad temper like his father, and that it may be why the DNA was close enough to OJ that they were able to say it was OJ, but it may not have been. I don't know, something like that. Indie Phantom, the doc series of OJ made the list. It was an ESPN show from 2016. LeMay, Moonlight is the gay inner city movie about black masculinity and being gay. Oh, well, I've never seen a gay movie before. You say they're talking about gay people in a movie? Wow, so stunning and brave, Hollywood. What next? A movie about being gay? Anyhow, Lord of the Rings is back. They're making apparently making a rebooting Men in Black. Men in Black's fine, but I don't think you need to reboot it. It'd probably be a good TV show. Be a great TV show, in fact, but, you know, they're going to reboot it. Okay. Now, Jack Posobiec has a crazy theory about the purchase of Netflix. He says this is all about Obama taking over media. Now, for those of you who don't know, the Obamas have a deal at Netflix, but I don't see how the Obamas are running Netflix enough so they'll take over Warner Brothers and then they'll continue to buy up the media. Like, I don't think the Obamas are running Netflix. I just don't. Are they influencing it? Yeah. To some extent, their boring documentaries influence people, I guess. I think it was more of like a payoff that was probably promised to them by either the deep state or Netflix or a bunch of different people, and they're just funneling money through Netflix. But I don't think the Obamas are running Netflix. Indie Phantom, that theory wasn't in there. OJ looks guilty as hell throughout. JEC, OJ was guilty as hell. Indie Phantom, OJ had beaten her senseless going back to 1985, where police arrived and she was bruised and he had a freaking bat. Men in Black, that last one failed so hard. Just stop with them. The Obama stuff is just a small part of Netflix, and most of the movies didn't get attention. I know, it's a weird theory from Jack Posobiec. They also have lots of non-woke stuff. Yeah, I don't think the Obamas are running Netflix. It's a wild conspiracy theory. IMAX CEO reveals new info about Greta Gerwig's feminist Narnia film, if you want to see that. I think that's going to be a total S show, because I think Greta Gerwig probably hates Christians and probably wants to do something super feminist in her take on Narnia, and it's going to piss off the majority of the audience that want to see another Narnia movie. And the other people, I think her audience doesn't give a crap about Narnia. They don't want to see that. So who is this movie for? I love when Hollywood tries to take two completely opposing forces and merge them into one audience. So imagine thinking like, okay, we have this Narnia franchise, and it's got all this biblical sort of metaphors in it, so it really appeals to religious people. What if we take the least religious director we can find to shove it full of feminism, so we get the religious people and the feminists? That's like the dumbest idea I've ever heard. It's like when they took football and made it woke. It's just dumb. It's like, okay, we have this restaurant and it's called McDonald's, and you get your food fast and it's cheap. But what if we made it super expensive and it took forever to get? And then we could have both customers. No, that's the opposite of what people want. And the other people who want really good food that takes a long time, they don't want to go to McDonald's. Do you understand? No, you don't, is the answer to that. Alex Ogle is here. Evening, attack helicopters. Someone sent me an Instagram reel saying I am gay. So I feel like I need to come out to you all. As based and a lover of Sydney Sweeney's boobs. Ha! Chronicles of Narnia is far too symbolic a work to be interpreted by woke Hollywood perverts. At JEC, but the gloves didn't fit. That's right. Explain that, JEC. If the gloves don't fit, you must have quit. Deadpool creator Rob Liefeld, who is the nicest guy I ever met in comics, implies current industry sales reporting figures are based on a lie. I assume that. I assume that because nobody cares about comics, and it would probably take all of 10 minutes to rig the stats. They used to be public, but then they stopped making them public. And the moment they did that, I said, oh, you're never going to get good data again. I think the numbers are so bad on comics, they don't want it released to the general public because they don't want you to know they're just printing thousands and thousands of comics that are basically going into the trash or getting donated. Because they don't really care about the comics, and the only way they're making money on them is really, I think, part of a huge tax write-off, which is why the dumbest people in the world are currently writing and making comics, in my opinion. At least, the superhero ones. Oh, so itchy. Oh, so itchy. Jessica Alba, remember her boobs? Describes stripping scene in Fantastic Four as humiliating. I love it. I love when a beautiful actress who was hired for her beautifulness gets older and then complains that everybody wanted to see her. Everybody wanted to see her boobs and didn't love her for her wonderful mind. Shut up. Shut up and take your money. How much money do we have to pay these actresses not to come back and complain? That's what I want to know. Do we have to give them an extra $1 million? Give them that money. Because I don't want to hear this. It pisses me off. Oh, I found it was humiliating. Alex Ogle, Jessica Alba had capital boobs. I bet they've gone south a bit since then. She's actually holding up great. Let's take a look at Jessica Alba today. There was a recent picture of her in a bikini. Let's see. I don't know when any of these are from. Let's try 2025. I mean, that looks pretty recent. All right, I'm just going to go bikini. Let's see. Yeah, that's her. I mean, she's really skinny. She looks great. I mean, she's holding up good. I don't think you could argue with that. Indie Phantom, you know who's not holding up well is Tara Reid. Bad news. Oh, yeah, I saw that story. I was following it all this week. She's had I think, a little bit of an imbibing problem for a while. Alex Ogle, I saw a video compilation of Salma Hayek. She is aging well enough. Oh, yeah, she doesn't look a day older. Jessica Alba, too, I think. I don't know who her hot friend is. She's pretty hot, too. Hot chicks stick together, that's for sure. See, she's got it. Well, I mean, they're not all that hot, but hot enough. Hot enough, I say. All right, where was I? Yeah, don't complain. It makes you less hot, Jessica. All right, now we get into it. Netflix announces acquisition of Warner Brothers for $82.7 billion. JEC, what happened to Tara? Did someone hurt her? No. She claimed that someone spiked her drink and she had to go to the hospital. But so far there is zero evidence that anyone spiked her drink. She may have just gotten very, very drunk and thinks someone spiked her drink, or just was looking for attention. I don't know which. But so far, there's no evidence that anyone spiked her drink. And so she ended up in the hospital, falling out of a wheelchair, like halfway, looking like a wreck. Looking like somebody's, middle-aged mom who got too drunk at the bar who had to be carried home. It was not a good look for Tara Reid. She used to be a hottie. Not anymore. Yeah, it's really putting some years on her. But, yeah, let's get into the acquisition. So Netflix has made an offer of $30.75 per share for Warner Brothers. Indie Phantom, her drink was spiked by Tara Reid. Alex Ogle, I was listening to the audiobook of Heinlein's Starship Troopers while in Vietnam. It's a shame Denise Richards is going over the edge. She was hot, hot, hot. She was. She was way hot. Like, Denise Richards was so hot back in the day, it almost hurt my eyes to look at her sometimes. But now she is not as hot. But still hot-ish. JEC, someone put alcohol in this drink and those other 12 drinks I drunk. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. I mean, she looked a wreck in the hospital photos. I may stumble upon them in tonight's stream. We'll see. But they were a hot thing like 2 days ago if you want to see them. Indie Phantom, my WB offer was rejected, Tony. I was hoping to put the Pineys into production, but no deal. Damn it. Damn it. Alex Ogle, Netflix will ruin Warner. Not much of a fall, but still part of the general decline. Well, here's the thing. So Netflix offered $30.75 per share. That was 75 cents over per share that Larry Ellison's Paramount Skydance offered, right? So the question is, will Larry Ellison now somehow come back with a slightly higher offer, or is he just going to use Trump to leverage, the deal in such a way that Netflix won't be able to do it? Because even Elizabeth Warren, who never agrees with Trump on anything, is up for this fight. She's calling it some sort of anti-monopoly thing. So if Elizabeth Warren is going to agree with Trump, you can pretty much guarantee that the entire Congress will probably agree that this deal won't go through. Now, it's not really up to Congress. It's up to the FEC, I believe. But the FEC could jam this up, which means then Netflix would have to take the FEC to court and argue in court why this is a good deal when you've got the Directors Guild coming out to say this isn't a good deal, and you've got other celebrities and filmmakers crying a river. Now, that being said, it's clear that Trump wants Warner Brothers to be run by the Ellisons. That's painfully true. Alex Ogle, Tony mustn't sell Pineys to Netflix. All his characters will be race and sex swapped. That is probably true. Netflix will insist on pineapple on all the pizza in the plot. That's not going to happen, Alex, I assure you. So I'm of two minds of this. The first mind, of course, is, like you said, it's not much of a fall. Warner Brothers is pretty much in the toilet now. James Gunn was sort of their last hope, and he's all but screwed the pooch on everything. Superman was okay-ish. Maybe it made money, maybe it didn't. But the bottom line is it didn't do gangbusters enough that it's going to rival Marvel in any way, which was kind of the point. And now people are getting sick of him. So I think the entire franchise thing has nowhere to go but down. They're already talking about, moving some guys in to help them or whatever. And if Paramount took over, they were talking about getting rid of him entirely. The other big problem, I think, is Warner Brothers doesn't really have anything. They have a library, but that library, like, I have HBO Max, as I've said. I have HBO Max and I have Netflix. I watch both of them about equally. And if I had to give the edge to which one I watched more of, it's probably HBO Max, because I like to watch cartoons and they have all the Adult Swim stuff, which I like. But I'm not watching the movies on it. I watched The Batman on it because it was $1 more in the theaters and I resented that extra charge, so I insisted on waiting. And then when it came out on HBO Max, I watched it for free. And I watched a couple other movies, but I watched a handful of movies on Netflix too. I'm not chomping at the bit to... If I had to pay for either one of these platforms, I wouldn't pay for either one of them. They're not worth it for me. I don't watch them enough for it to be worth it for me to pay for it every single month. I would rather buy, a movie here or there. I would rather rent it on Amazon or YouTube or whatever, one-shot deal and be done. Because it's just not worth paying a monthly fee. There's not enough stuff on there for worth watching. So merging the two together ain't going to do much for me. I might watch, instead of watching 6 or 7 movies a year, I might watch a movie a month. But that's not saying much, because once Netflix absorbs the Warner Brothers stuff, they're not going to put the entire library out. They're going to have different tiers. They're going to run them for a while and then stop. like, if anything, they're going to take a franchise like Rocky, let's say, and remake it. And when they remake it, do you think they want the comparisons to the old Rocky? No. They will put that on the shelf during that time. So no one can compare old Rocky to new Rocky. And then they will push new Rocky, which will be a failure. And then, because it'll be a independent black woman as Rocky, and no one will like it, and it'll fail, and then they'll make a sequel, and that'll fail, and then they'll finally go, gee, maybe this wasn't a good idea. So, I don't think Netflix will do much with the WB content other than use it as content. Every once in a while, just post some up just to get some money. Every once in a while, throw something back in the theaters to run, it's the 50th anniversary of Rocky. Let's put it back in the theaters for a couple of weeks. So what? Everybody's crying like, oh my God, with the Warner Brothers studio gone, who will make the movies? Warner Brothers wasn't exactly making a lot of independent movies. They made some movies, but mostly they were doing the same thing the other movie companies are doing. They're just remaking everything and rebooting everything. They haven't made a tremendous amount of new movies. So who cares? DC Comics is an absolute travesty. I saw one article decrying, oh my God, Netflix bought another comic book company. They ended up buying up Millar World, which is Mark Millar's characters. I don't know if that's even worth. I don't even think they're printing comics. They might be. I don't think Netflix gives a damn about comics either. If they bought up DC Comics, I don't even know if they would even keep the division open. They'd probably just close it. Who cares? It's not going to make them any money. They might keep it open for the tax write-off, I guess. They'll probably make it even woker than ever. Who the hell cares? So, what is this going to do? Will it improve Warner Brothers? Warner Brothers wasn't improving on its own. So I don't think it'll improve Warner Brothers, but I don't think Warner Brothers was coming back. Maybe if you gave it to Paramount, they'd have done something with it, but what are they going to do with it? Oh, right, they're probably going to remake everything too. They just might not make them completely woke, or not. Even if they don't make them woke at all, who cares? I don't want to see a remake of Rocky. That doesn't make any sense. Make new movies. What in that catalog do you need for the future? It's just content. It's just stuff to put on the platform to run. And after 50 years, some of it's just not going to be relevant anymore. Can you imagine someone, in their teens or in their 20s right now watching a movie where part of the plot is people talking on landlines, or people saying, oh my God, I got to get home. Well, why? I have to get my voicemail. And, the 20-year-old goes, voicemail? Why doesn't he just check his phone? So, these movies are soon going to be out of touch from the people who, the new audience. Anyway, so make new movies so they can relate to them. I say. Sorry, I'm ranting. I'm backing up to see where I left off. Alex Sogol, Netflix will insist on pineapple on all the pizzas. Oh, yeah, I started with that. Indy. Seems like the deal won't even happen for a couple of years no matter what. Yes. However, the Trump admin wants Ellison to have the deal. So if Ellison gets it somehow through his lawsuit or appealing to the shareholders, then perhaps that will happen. Because if they could find some legal recourse to keep Netflix from buying it, and then Skydance comes in and buys it, I think it'll just run right through, because the Trump admin will go, oh yeah, we want them to buy it. Go ahead. JC, I mean, at this point, any company that buys the WB will be a monopoly regardless of who buys them. No, I don't think so. I don't see it as a monopoly. A monopoly on what? It's just a bunch of old movies. I Again, I don't want to see rerun. I don't want to see a remake of Rocky or The Wizard of Oz or who cares? They've already done versions of The Wizard of Oz, right? They did The Wiz, and that ran its course. I guess you could do, I don't know, some other versions of it, but I'm sure they'll all be woke and weird and stupid. So what good are they? It doesn't matter in the scheme of things until you get a company that's willing to be a little bit based. Alex Ogle, next up, Apple buys Disney. Let them buy Disney. Wouldn't give a whit. It would have to be an improvement. Because as woke as Apple is, they're so rich they may not care. They may just say, yeah, make woke movies, but also make regular movies too. And they may just most of these companies are going to forget about all the wokeness when it's so out of vogue, it just doesn't make them any money. They'll just say, yeah, don't make those movies anymore. Indie Phantom, Supergirl will save DC, Tony. Just you wait and see. Tony, you have no faith in Hollywoke. JC, Millar World isn't really a company. It's Mark Millar's self-published stuff that usually comes out through Image, Kick-Ass, Kingsman, and Jupiter's Legacy. Yeah, it's not enough stuff to matter. And, most of that stuff, they already made movies with it, so who cares? Alex Ogle, but they haven't made Goonies 2 yet. Oh, don't worry, Netflix will make it. I bet you can't wait to hear the pronouns of the Goonies. Alex Ogle, anything's got to be better than The Shower that was 2025 cinema. Yeah, like how much worse can it get at this point? If Netflix absorbs Warner Brothers just to get rid of them, so what? Again, it's not like they were making any new movies. And if Skydance gets them, there's only so many movies Skydance can make. And they're not making new movies either. They're just rebooting them in a slightly less woke fashion. Until I see a non-woke Star Trek show come out from Paramount Skydance, I'm not ready to believe they're going to be any different. Because you probably saw the ad for Starfleet Academy. A poster dropped. Oh, I got to take off my shoes. Oh, that's so much better. Whew. Let me see the Starfleet Academy poster. If you haven't seen this, you're in for not a rude shock. Starfleet Academy poster. Here it is. It's so bad. Look how bad this is. This is the worst thing I've ever seen in Star Trek. And that's saying something. Oh, that's awful. Whoa. Woofa. It's the dumbest thing they've ever put out for Star Trek. Hands down. And the worst part is, this is actually slightly better. There's a rumor, and I think it's more than a rumor, that the Klingon character had a still of him in a dress. Like a skirt outfit. And that was in one of the promotional pieces that was in one of the, I want to say like Chicago Con or something like that. But they quickly took it down and no one's seen it since. So, I mean, this is current Paramount, everybody. Yeah, we got to save this. Yeah, these guys will fix Warner Brothers. JC, one of the guys who I got to life drawing with works on that show. He hates it. Of course he does. I can't imagine anybody who works on this show. I don't think the actors like being in the show. I don't think there's anyone who likes the show. That's not the purpose of the show. The purpose of the show is to make people mad. This is Marxism. The idea is you will have no succor, right? You will have nowhere to rest and relax and watch your Star Trek shows. They don't want you to have any respite. They want you to be so angry and stressed out all the time, because that's the only way Marxism can work. Everything else has to fail, so you go, well, I guess I got to try this Marxism, this socialism. It's the only answer. Nothing else is working. And sadly, some of that is now starting to work on the idiots who voted in Ma'am Danny. Alex Ogle, the next plot twist of Star Trek is that everybody is a gay hologram and disabled and Muslim. Yeah, this is the worst thing I've ever like. This show is literally for no one, right? So you got Star Trek fans, they would all hate this immediately. There's not a single Trekkie I know who would like this. That's number one. Then you have people like, first off, you can eliminate the men. Any man would see this and go, what is this, 90210 or something? What is this, some sort of gay soap opera? I'm not interested in this. So it basically leaves you with women, and women would look at this and go, oh, what is it? Oh, it's science fiction? I don't really watch science fiction. It leads you with like theater majors and a handful of female sci-fi nerds, and that's about it. And that is a tiny slice of audience. JEC, but everyone is ignoring them now, and they are the ones who are stressed out and angry because they are slowly watching everything they have fall apart. Well, but that's the point. See, they think that's the people who are already socialist. They think that's the way everybody should be, because they're under the impression that's the way life works. Everybody's stressed out all the time, and they shouldn't be. But if we all just finally admit that socialism is the only answer, and we all become socialists, then it'll work, is the thinking. JEC, the guy from Life Drawing literally said it's Star Trek mixed with 90210. Yeah, it is. I've seen the trailer for it. It's awful. Holly Hunter is the main teacher in it, and it's so bad because Holly Hunter, she's always played like a southerner who sounds like kind of stupid. She's completely miscast. It looks awful. Stephen Colbert plays the AI digital dean. And Robert Picardo, of course, who is very much a TDS sufferer, plays a character. I think he plays himself. There was the hologram character he played, and then this is the real guy the hologram was based off of, I think. And then there's a bunch of fat women in it. So they cast a bunch of fat women. Of course, none in this poster. Yeah, you won't want to see the fat girls in this poster. But from some of the other stills of the show, the fat female aliens are all over the place. And they just take canon and they just throw it against the wall and it all meshes together and nothing makes any sense. So I could tell you a bunch of different Star Trek-y things that are wrong with it, but it doesn't matter. They don't care about any of that. It's all a big mishmash of stuff, that a bunch of woke theater majors watched and said, oh, what if we did this? And then everybody in the room went, yay! Because that's all they know how to do. JC, the internet is so big, people just go find other things to do. They're the ones with insane overhead. Yeah. Yeah, so this is all going away. Now, the new Paramount allegedly is going to erase all this. But of course, they just bought the company, and that company spent I don't know how much money making this show, so they're going to let it stream to see if it makes any money, because they're still capitalist at heart. But God forbid the thing catches on, and now you got a real problem on your hands. Now you can't reset Star Trek. Now you're like, oh, well, I guess this really worked. Oh, I guess we'll keep this then. But they don't care. They're all about their money. So this is going to fail. There's no audience for it, in my opinion. And then after it fails, they'll try to reboot it again, probably going back to the original characters and starting over again. But even that, even if they go back to the original characters, it's still not going to be great because the original show was the original show. It was a unique cast. It was a unique moment in time. Gene Roddenberry created the show. They won't have him. They hired literally every sci-fi guy at the time. Those guys are long gone. They're not going to do that. It's not going to, it'll never reach its former heights. What they should do from a creative standpoint is just stop. It's just stop doing it. It's over. It's done. Be done with it and do something else. Like a new sci-fi show. You could have elements of Star Trek in it, but, you know, just doing this over and over again, it's always going to be never as good as the original. That will be its curse. Alex Ogle, the Star Trek Academy canteen will only serve bugs, and they'll spend the series worrying that the weather control networks will fail and cause rampant climate change, but no one knows how to fix it. Yeah, it could be like Idiocracy, because they're all too busy crying about their emotions and being gay. Alex Ogle, cliffhanger, at the end of season 1, Sydney Sweeney's boobs threaten to invade and turn everyone straight. Oh no! So, yeah. Meanwhile, Supergirl has been confirmed to be what it is. Oh, here's a new Dragon Ball is in development. Where's the Supergirl hit? Oh, this was weird. I don't know if you watched this guy, but he's a fantasy news YouTuber. And he recently got caught, I think, cheating on his wife. And then I guess he went off the air for a while, but then he came back and now he's got a sponsor and he's promoting a sex toy and encouraging viewers to masturbate. That sounds like a guy who needs money. I don't know about you, but that sounds like a guy who's getting divorced and needs money right now. So, oh, here it is. James Gunn's Supergirl trailer description confirms a drunken space western that misses the character entirely. Here's the problem with Supergirl, in my opinion. The character was never that interesting to begin with. What Supergirl was a lot of things that happened at DC Comics happened because the publisher said, we need this kind of readership, add a different kind of character. So when Batman came out, the publisher said, we need to get more kids interested in this, so let's make a kid sidekick for him so the kid will identify with the sidekick. So they made Robin, and that's why they created Robin. And it turned out they didn't identify with Robin. They thought of Robin as a competitor. And it was really Batman they identified with. Supergirl, they said, we want to bring in more females. And you have to understand, comics at the time that Superman was big, had Lois Lane comics, which were pretty popular. I mean, Lois Lane had her own comic. Jimmy Olsen had his own comic. So doing Supergirl was almost like they had done ones where Lois got superpowers for an issue or two. And they thought, oh, well, maybe we can get some girls to read superhero comics. So they created Supergirl, and she was never all that interesting. She was just a female version of Superman. That's it. The end. So now they're trying to jam in a personality. But, you're saying like, well, it misses the character entirely. The character never really had a personality other than she was female Superman. She was blonde and she was hot and she was Superman but with boobs. That's it. That's it. It was so you could sell more Superman comics. And the stories were basically the same, except it was a girl. And that's why they killed Supergirl in Crisis on Infinite Earths, because no one read Supergirl. So it was perfectly fine to kill her off because no one cared about the character. But they own her, so they're trying another spin to try to make this work. You can keep trying, but the original character never really worked. Was never really popular. It's like we own the Eternals. Oh, we'll make an Eternals movie. Well, that never really took off as a comic. So you can keep doing all the Eternal movies you want, but maybe it was just a bad idea. Supergirl, probably not a great idea. Power Girl, slightly more popular? Maybe because of her boobs? I don't know. So, and this movie looks like they're trying to aim it at women. Surprise, surprise. Modern Hollywood trying to aim another movie at women? What a shock. Women don't care for superhero comics. They don't care for superheroes. They don't. I keep telling you this. Why won't you listen? They don't want to see this because superheroes are about action, adventure. Women don't necessarily like those kinds of stories. What they like are relationships and descriptions. Have you met women? Have you seen the movies they watch? I know women, they watch romance movies. They all take place at Christmas. There's a wedding involved. Someone cries. That's the kind of movie women like. If you wanted to make a female superhero movie, you don't have to have her save anybody. What you have to have her do is go home for Christmas and be single, but, you know, having just broken up with her boyfriend, and then runs into an old flame, and then there's some sparks there. Oh, but there's another boyfriend she also used to date, and then there's a rivalry, and you hear about their relationship, and I'm bored just pitching this thing because I'm a man and I don't want to see this. But women love it, and you could throw in some shoes, I guess. And if there's a bunch of costuming, oh, you're set for women. But they don't want to see people flying around punching people. That's what guys want to see. Like, a Supergirl movie for guys would be Supergirl fights a monster, and in the process, most of her uniform gets ripped off. That would be the Supergirl movie we would want to see. Let's see. Alex Ogle, why does James Gunn continue to find employment? He's about as useful as a banana and chocolate on pizza. Well, he's not. Again, there's a lot of guys in Hollywood. They're perfectly fine if you know how to use them, right? Like if I had the studio and I was in charge of James Gunn, I would say, James, here's what I want you to do. I want you to script a comedy, right? I wouldn't put him on Supergirl. I wouldn't greenlight Supergirl. I wouldn't put him on Superman. I might put him on the Justice League. Maybe. I'd let him do a draft, or at least be co-writer or something, because he's good on those team movies. He did well on Guardians of the Galaxy. I would put him. I'll tell you where he should have gone. Disney should have picked him up for a Star Wars movie. You put him on a Star Wars movie and say it's going to be fun action adventure in space, probably do okay. He did okay with Guardians of the Galaxy. Why wouldn't he do okay on that? You also have to tell him not to put his politics in it. But I think it may be the case that they are actually encouraging these guys to put their politics in it if their politics align with the studio. But, you know, it's just like Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder, I would say, Zack, here's the script. It's been approved for you. Follow the script. Do not change a word. Shoot the entire script. If you shoot a bunch of extra scenes, we're probably going to cut them all out. Shoot the script as it is written. Do not change it. That would be my order to Zack Snyder. But these guys cut different deals because the studio, while they, on the one hand, don't trust talent enough to actually have a screenwriter and support a screenwriter versus a director and keep them in balance. At the same time, when they hire an auteur like Zack Snyder or James Gunn, they just give them the whole farm and say, well, as long as you're making us money, But then when he runs out of ideas, or you give him a movie he can't really make work, then it all blows up in your face. JC, it's going to be True Grit in Space. It's based on a Tom King miniseries. Yeah, I hear nothing but bad things about Tom King. I don't think it's going to be good. JC, when I started reading comics, when I was 8, Supergirl was a shape-shifting clone that was bonking Lex Luthor. Yep, that was another reboot of Supergirl. Originally, she was Superman's cousin, who she was in suspended animation, I think in a Kryptonian space station, and Superman, or Superboy maybe, discovered her and woke her up, and then, she started her career. But they don't do those kinds of wholesome stories anymore. Not that it would work in a movie, but... although it might, I don't know. You never know. Alex Ogle, the only worthwhile Lois Lane... you wrote Lois Lane. Lois Lane was Terry Hatcher, was being the operative word, since she seems to be turning a corner with her looks as well. What a shame. Yeah, another hottie back in the day. JC, he's good at slightly subversive action comedy genre pictures. Yeah, that's what I would put him on. Like a buddy movie for James Gunn? Sure. Superman? Not quite right for him. If you did a Superman, I don't know, Guy Gardner team up and was just the two of them, or like maybe if you did a comedy Green Arrow, Green Lantern, maybe. But, these guys in Hollywood, they've effed this entire thing up. And now all the various IPs are with this studio or that studio, and there's a lot of internal fighting over these, I hear. So, for instance, like Batman is one of these IPs. Part of the reason why you're seeing so many not Batman shows is corporate desperately wants to protect the Batman franchise, because they did. I mean, when they were Warner Brothers, the idea being is, well, we have to protect Batman because Batman's our cash cow. We got to protect that. Superman's sort of like right underneath that, and then the rest they kind of only sort of care about. So they wouldn't, play as fast as loose with Batman. What they should have done, and again, I contend this would be easily $1 billion idea. They should have said to Matt Reeves and Robert Pattinson, you did a great first movie. Now we'd like you to do a 10-episode miniseries. Here's a giant pile of money. Go to it. They did 10 episodes of Batman. You could introduce all the characters you want to introduce. And if they're popular, you spin them off into their own shows alongside of Batman. You don't start with Penguin and Clayface and then mention Batman. Oh, but you never see Batman. That doesn't make any sense. JC, James Gunn would make a good Hellboy BPRD movie. Yeah, that's another good one for him. I would give him that too. The last Hellboy movie was pretty good. That one that took place in like the Deep South. Here is the new Tomb Raider thing. That's not a picture of the new Tomb Raider. That's Sasha from Game of Thrones is new Tomb Raider. But what's her face? Phoebe Waller-Bridge is writing Tomb Raider. So this will be a feminist Tomb Raider, obviously. And I think it's going to suck. It's going to suck majorly. I think I can say that sight unseen. Now, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, if I had to give her a project, I would have never moved her off of the project she was already doing. Like, she was doing, TV shows, niche TV shows for women. I might put her on another TV show for women, or like a romance movie for women. But I wouldn't give her Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider's not a franchise for a female creator who hates the patriarchy. That's absolutely not a thing for her. She's gonna hate it. She basically destroyed Indiana Jones. pretty much single-handedly, although I have to blame the people behind the scenes more for that. It's a terrible time. It's a terrible idea to give her Tomb Raider. It's just the worst idea you could possibly think of since the last worst idea you thought of. So this is going to be an absolute S show, in my opinion. Even though Sasha from Game of Thrones actually is good for the character. She's hot and she's the right age. She's English. But the whole show should be her being hot and stealing artifacts, not, giving us a feminist lecture on why the patriarchy stole the pyramids or whatever. JC, have her make us something British for girls. Yeah, like a soap opera about a bunch of women in an all-girls school or something. And you could preach all the feminist bullcrap you want in that. Maybe the women would like that because it would be aimed at women. But this is an IP aimed at men. This is female Indiana Jones. That's all it ever was. It was, how can we make Indiana Jones even more attractive to men? Oh, let's make it a woman and give her a great rack. And so they did. And guys loved it. Guys loved it. Guys aren't going to love this. I'll tell you exactly what they do. They're going to cut a trailer which has no feminism in it. And then everybody's going to go, all right, maybe. And then the movie will come out and everybody's going to say, oh my God. It's a feminist screed from beginning to end. And then it'll do well for like a week and then it'll plummet. That's my guess. Alex Ogle. Comic pitch. Superman, freshly arrived in America from Krypton. Mohammed Clark bin Kent is a homeless, disabled gay Muslim who survives because of a soup kitchen where he meets his lover, Lois Lane. That's pretty good. JC. Just something about a bunch of middle-aged slags drinking too much and bashing men. Girls will eat it up. I mean, not really, but the middle-aged women will. It's just the dumbest thing ever is to keep taking these male IPs and handing them to women and saying, oh, make it all for women. And then they make it. And the first thing that happens is the first reviews come out and everybody says, oh, this is awful. Don't go see this. And then all the women go, oh, that's not fair. Oh, there's a bunch of chuds online. What? Look, I'll say this again, and I've said this so many times, but I love this analogy. I don't go into a women's shoe store and say, you know what? There's nothing here for me. That's unfair. There should be, cheesesteaks and football on the TV and topless girls serving the female shoes. I don't do that because it's not my space. I don't give a crap about shoe stores for women. I don't find a need that you have to start carrying shoes for me. So I let women have their space. Women have this weird thing where they won't let men have their space. I don't know what it is. But if you just let men have their space, let them have, let's say, Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, then, when the movie comes out, you don't have to see it. Let your boyfriend go see it, or maybe you go just to support him. Oh, he loves Tomb Raider, so we're going to go see this stupid movie. And then maybe he'll go see one of your movies. I don't know. But this is not for anybody, because women don't like Tomb Raider. Women will take a look at this still and go, well, that doesn't seem good. She has a gun. What's happening in this? They're not gonna say, oh, I have to go see this. Like a guy sees a still like that, they're like, oh, cool, hot chick with a gun. Although they made her not hot in this still. So, who the hell is the movie for? The movie's for no one, except a tiny slice. All right. Moving on to Variety. Whoops. Clicked the wrong thing. Hold on. Moving on to Variety. Let's see. Hallmark teams up with Disney World, sets Lacey Chambert Christmas movie to film at the park. Now this is 100% female, right there. It's a movie that takes place at Christmas and is being shot at the Disneyland park. There's nothing in that for men. There's no man who goes, "Oh, I can't wait to see that movie." No. Unless she's shooting dudes in the face in the park, no one wants to see this movie other than women. Because there's going to be decorations and clothes, and there's going to be all sorts of interesting misunderstandings. That's a girl movie. So make it. I don't care. It's not for me. There are women who want to see it. That's fine. One battle after another wins big at LA film critics with Best Picture. Ethan Hawke and Rose Byrne take lead acting prizes. They are pushing hard for this in the Oscars. Expect one battle after another to be nominated for everything. Absolutely everything. And expected to win a bunch of them too. And then expect them to re-release it, hoping people will go see it, and expect nothing. Because you can't create a phenomenon. Either a phenomenon happens or it doesn't. Hollywood, you never learn your lesson. You think just because you have a lot of money and you have a lot of talent at your disposal, you can pick and choose the hits. You cannot. You cannot choose a phenomenon. That is chosen by the people. It happens. It just happens. There's no formula to do it. AI will never figure out how to make a phenomenon. It'll never figure it out because you can't. It's just at random. Something hits just at the right time. I've seen it happen. It's very random. When the guys I worked with the guys at Kenzer, I always talk about that, and they had a phenomenon on their hands. It was called Knights of the Dinner Table magazine. In the world of gaming comics, Knights of the Dinner Table caught fire like no other comic before. And there were plenty of other comics that did gaming just like Knights of the Dinner Table did, but it was Knights of the Dinner Table that caught fire and exploded for about, about 10 years. And it was a phenomenon, and we'd go to conventions, and we'd have an event, and 500 people would show up, and they would read the parts of the characters up on stage, and people would laugh, and it was amazing. It should be a TV show. I tried to put together a TV show kind of thing for them, but it didn't work out. We couldn't make it happen. I just didn't have the money or the these days it would probably be easier to do. But it's something to see when you see a phenomenon, and then you see other things that are very similar. They're just not as big of a hit. So one battle after another, you can push this all day long. It's not going to turn into a hit. You're not going to make, put this out again and make $500 million. It's just not going to happen. People have already spoken. They don't want to see this. So you can give it all the Oscars you want. No one will care. The Oscars are mostly done anyway. Especially after you changed all the rules and have over the years made it increasingly woke. And the problem with the Oscars is they don't know what they are. Are they awards for American films, or are they awards for films across the world? Because they nominate things for Best Picture that are both international, and then they nominate the same film for international Best Picture or international award or whatever it is. You have to separate the two. Either it's about American films and then you have an international category, which is fine. I think they should expand the international category. I think it should be Best Picture, Best International Picture, Best Actor in an International Film. You could do all the major categories for international. There's nothing wrong with that. Or you say the Academy Awards is worldwide, and now we look at all the movies from around the world. people will hate it here, but because it'll be nothing but Bollywood movies winning. Because once you incorporate the the Indians in the vote, I mean they're gonna sweep everything. And then once the Nigerians come up, they'll sweep everything by the sheer number of movies they make. But I don't see any problem though with keeping it an American cinema awards show and then including some of the internationals. But Hollywood continues the virtue signal, so, and they continue to try to game the system. But okay, sure. Yeah, it's the best picture. Oh, why didn't anybody see it? It's weird. It's weird. Trump calls Ted Sarandos a fantastic man, but says Netflix Warner Brothers deal would give streamer very big market share. It could be a problem. He doesn't want it. I don't think he cares about the share. Again, I don't think it's that big of a share either. Once Netflix gobbles up Warner Brothers, will you see a big spike in the Netflix subscriptions or the amount of viewership they have? I don't think you will. Alex Ogle, don't let it become TIFF. That's insufferably woke. It's not. The Oscars are already insufferably woke. They changed the rules, so you have to have DEI in it. If you don't have enough DEI in your film, you can't even be nominated. Now, so forget it. I don't give a whit about an Oscar at all anymore. Until you remove those racist rules, it's not really a fair contest. Because you could have a perfectly wonderful film that just so happens not to have enough DEI in it, and it can't be nominated. So F that. They also changed the rules. They kicked out all the older Academy members so they could get a younger crop of people voting. So they're all going to vote for movies. They don't know what they're doing. You're going to get 20-year-olds to vote for Best Picture. They don't know what they're seeing. They don't know what's good. As a famous comedian once said, 20-year-old people, the only thing they're good for is looking better than 30-year-old people. It's ridiculous. What I see in the future for the Oscars, either they collapse or they have to retool it again and go back to the old system. I don't think they will. I think they'll collapse. I think eventually the Oscars will become so irrelevant that nobody watches them anymore, and they'll just pick a different awards, a different award that makes more sense, that aligns with people's taste. But nobody really cares about awards shows either. They had a chance with Golden Globes. The Golden Globes could be the replacement for the Oscars if they just kept Ricky Gervais as the host every year. I would have watched that thing every year to just watch Ricky Gervais trash everybody. But instead, they had a meltdown too. So now where are they? They're just about done. Half these award shows need to disappear. There's already way too many. Most of I don't know if you guys know this, but most of these awards, basically they say these film festivals are nothing but scams to get filmmakers to pay money. So they look at the film and then they give everybody an award, and it's like the awards don't mean anything anymore. So you can put all those little laurel leaves around whatever. I have 2 movies on my IMDb and they won awards. So you can go to, you can just keep going to film festivals until you win some awards. They'll give you something for something. It needs to just stop. And this is the film industry. I mean, it's ridiculous. If you make a movie, one of the things you could do is just hit the festival circuit and just keep showing it and win a bunch of awards until you win enough awards that somebody takes notice, or you win the right ones, which means you have to win Sundance or the LA one or whatever. But good luck if you're the wrong person and you got the wrong politics. Good luck. Yeah, the MAGA movie isn't going to win anything. What else? Sean Baker says filmmakers have to put foot down following Netflix Warner Brothers deal. Won't go 150 million. Won't go for the $150 million studio thing post Nora. Okay. Well, it's your option to turn down money. I mean, Clint Miller, Dick Van Dyke turns 100 on Saturday. That is very true. That is very true. I hope he makes it. Here's more on Quentin Tarantino apparently insulted also Matthew Lillard. And he says it effing sucks. Quentin Tarantino said he didn't like me as an actor. See, it's just making a lot of waves that no one needs. Quentin. Alex Ogle. He was great in an episode of Columbo. Everybody was great in an episode of Columbo at a certain age. William Shatner was in an episode of Columbo. All right. More on Phoebe Waller-Bridge and Sophie Turner on Tomb Raider. Alex Ogle, Negative Reaction was the name of the episode. A work print of 1997's Spawn film emerges to show us what could have been. Spawn's not that great of a character, let's be honest. But sure, I guess. Alex Ogle, William Shatner should have sang in his episode. Mr. Columbo, I'm glad you're here. I can offer you a coffee. Theaters in serious trouble as Netflix CEO confirms plans to make Warner Brothers release windows more consumer friendly. Now, bad quality movies are a huge major factor in the fact that people aren't going to the movies. I mean, that's a huge factor. But there are other major factors, like the theater experience being completely crap, the movies being too expensive, the food being too expensive, and the quality's just not there. I mean, if the movie's going to be crap, but it's cheaper than renting it at home, then I might get up off my ass and go see a movie. But if it's going to be more expensive than watching it at home, that doesn't make any sense. Why would I get up out of my seat to go all the way to the movie theater to see it? If all I have to do is wait for it to come on a streamer, I'm just going to wait. So the problem is not Netflix. The problem is the movie studios don't care about you. What did they do with Batman? They tried to charge me an extra $1. They should have done the exact opposite. They should have said, oh, by the way, we're offering a discount for Batman on, let's say, the first week. First weekend, it's $5. Oh, my God. They wouldn't have been able to fit enough people in the theater. They would have been playing on 3 screens. They would have been running it continuously, nonstop. Because people would have been flocking to see it. And then you could have, I don't know, counted that. But they won't do that. Because God forbid they invest a little bit of money in the experience. They could have given away popcorn. That's what I would do. I would tell the studios, listen, buy one of these chains, and then use it as a tax write-off, and then give away popcorn at select, at the movies we like, right? So you say, like, if you're Warner Brothers and you own the theaters, you make the Warner Brothers movies cheaper, or you give away free popcorn or whatever. It's your theater. You can show whatever movies you want. Now, that might conflict with some sort of FEC thing. I don't know. So maybe there'd be a workaround, but something has to be done, and they're not doing it. They're not doing a damn thing. They made the seating more comfortable. That didn't really do much. That wasn't one of my major complaints at a movie theater. You know, it is a kind of a complaint since the movies are so damn long, but I didn't want them to be that long. They're already too long. What I wanted was 90-minute movies and almost no previews and commercials up front. That's what I really want. But you're not doing that. You're jamming more commercials up front. You're making the movies longer. It's not worth the money. Alex Ogle. They will give away popcorn to start with, but the management will want savings and efficiency, so the bean counters will drop the popcorn and ruin the experience. Well, movies are about an experience. Like with a store, like a lot of times with a store, like a grocery store, you're going to give away samples of food. You're going to cut the prices to get people to shop in your store. And then once they start shopping, you slowly raise the prices back up and then eliminate the samples. And then by that time, people are used to going to your store. You don't have to do much. You're not going to lose them. But that's not the way it is with movies. But they apply that same logic to movies, and that's the problem. Movies are an experience. They're all experience. There's nothing but experience. So the moment you start cutting back on the experience is the moment it would be like if you went to the store and now not only is it more expensive, but the can of peas you're buying gets smaller and smaller every time you buy a can of peas. That's a problem. That's a problem. They need to do something, and they're not doing anything, near as I could tell. They could give away things. There's so much they could do, and it wouldn't even cost them that much. Like, for instance, Warner Brothers and Disney both own comic book companies. Comics cost nothing to print. Like, literally, if they charge more than a nickel a comic, that's more, that's nothing. Both of them have a huge library of comics, and both of them are cranking out superhero movies. It would literally cost them pennies to print, let's say, a couple of million, let's say, Avengers comics for an Avengers movie, or a couple of million Superman comics for Superman, and just give it away. Just give it away to anybody who buys a ticket the first night. People would come out for that. You can make it a collectible. Only for one night only, we're giving away these comics. That's it. And you just give away a comic. People would flood the movie theaters for pennies. You would recoup the cost in the tickets. You could send it all to the movie theaters. Just say, listen, here are 10,000 comics for every movie theater. Just give them away with a purchase of a ticket. There's only going to be, so many comics. I don't know how many that would be. Let's say every seat in every movie theater in the chain, for one or two theaters across the country, it's only, the first night showing until the comics run out. And then they just give them all away. People would go bananas. Did they do it? No, because you'll go see the movie anyway, according to them. How'd that work out? Hollywood Reporter says Phillips' New York watch auction is the highest grossing in history at $43.5 million. I don't know if the link is here, but I talked about on Hollywoke Hot Take yesterday, Francis Ford Coppola auctioned off his custom-made watch because he lost all his money on Megalopolis. He got about $10.8 million for the watch, I think. Yeah, he's not doing too well after Megalopolis. Man, that sucks. I still haven't found a place to watch Megalopolis. I can't find it. I'm waiting for it to drop somewhere. I figure it'll be on a streaming platform at some point for nothing. Anaconda director debuts unseen footage of off-the-rails comedy teases future of franchise. Oh my God. We're already talking about a franchise. Anaconda has Thandie Newton in it. I have no hopes for this being funny. I mean, Jack Black can be tolerable under the right conditions. Paul Rudd used to be very funny. But Thandie Newton should not be in this. I don't know why she was cast. Ted Sarandos met with Donald Trump ahead of Netflix winning Warner Brothers deal. Oh, if that's true, that's a sign that the deal is a done deal then, maybe. That's a sign that Trump already signed off on it, perhaps. And now Trump is just pretending like he's mad. I don't know. Because, like, if Sarandos said, for instance, like, one of the big problems with the Ellisons buying Warner Brothers was that everybody was worried they're going to immediately shut down CNN or fire everybody, right? Which they probably should to, if they're going to keep the damn thing running as a news outlet, they should rebrand it and fire everybody. Maybe Ted Sarandos said, yeah, we'll just close it down. I don't know. And that's the price he's going to pay to buy Warner Brothers for Trump. He's just going to close down CNN and never bring it back. Or maybe he's agreed to sell it off to, like, I don't know, Newsmax or someone like that. He's just going to sell off CNN. I don't know who would buy it. What is it worth? Nothing to me. I wrote, dude, where's my car 25 years ago? It would never be made today. That is true. It is a very stupid movie. It's kind of funny though. I've never seen it all the way through, but I kind of watch clips of it sometimes, and I kind of miss comedies like that. It's a really stupid movie, but it's meant to be very stupid. So I kind of have an appreciation for it, but Melissa McCarthy kicks off SNL with festive monologue. She's toppled by a snowstorm. It looks like Melissa McCarthy lost some weight. Did she go on Ozempic? Yeah, she's a lot thinner. Is there another picture of her? She's still wearing black, so she's kind of hiding. Let me see if I can find a better picture of Melissa McCarthy. Melissa McCarthy, 2025. Okay. Now that... She's pretty thin in that one. I mean, for her. She was a lot heftier. There's her on Saturday Night Live. I mean, that's not as thin. See there, she's looking reasonably curvy. Definitely thinner than she was, I'll say. Interesting. Boy, this Ozempic, it's wasting people away, isn't it? I don't know what she's going to do. Like, there's no comedies anymore, but, like, that was kind of her deal. She was, like, there's always the funny fat one in Hollywood. Now there's not going to be any fat people left to be funny. Let's see. Avengers Endgame to be re-released ahead in 2026 ahead of Avengers Doomsday. I'm not sure there's any point to that, but okay. Bleeding Fool. Review. Hunting season marks Mel Gibson's vintage revival. Yeah, this looks pretty good. I think I may see this as well. It looks like a return to form for, revenge movie with Mel Gibson shooting dudes in the face. He really hasn't stopped shooting dudes in the face in his movies. So, Disney Plus taps Percy Jackson team for Power Rangers reboot. Ooh, I can't wait to hear the Power Rangers pronouns. That should be fun. Alex Ogle. Yeah, Stephen Hawking proved that even black holes lose mass through Hawking radiation, so maybe McCarthy is doing the same thing. Oh, okay. Now I get it. I'm reading it going, what the hell? A super progressive movie trailer that's meant to offend. Yeah, this is a crazy thing. I did a trailer analysis of this. This is a cartoon, and it's coming out on Australia Day, which is January 26th. It's their version of the 4th of July. And there is an Australian senator, and she is behind this cartoon series. That's not the name of the series. It's called something else. I forget the name. But it's like her cartoon series, and it's nothing but cartoon memes of their super progressive government. And I've been seeing some clips of it and some clips from the show. They're not bad, but they're kind of inside baseball for Australian politics. I don't really know enough about Australian politics to know that much. I watch Bearing. If you've ever watched the Bearing show on YouTube, him and his wife do a very funny show. And so he's mentioned a few things over the years, so I kind of get some of it. But this is their movie version of, their giant meme movie, where the premise is the progressives take over Australia officially, and like they ban white men and, do all the progressive things. So it looks pretty funny. All right, Dennis Villeneuve's Bond pick. Callum Turner tops the 007 list. Okay. I mean, I guess. Look, at this point, just pick someone. Just do Bond movies. The only thing I'm interested in is Bond gonna shoot dudes in the face, drink whiskey, and bang chicks. If it's gonna be woke, then forget it. Deadline. Oh, here it is. This is Kristen Stewart. Kristen Stewart says filmmaking is capitalist hell. It's too hard to make movies right now that aren't blockbustery proven equations. Okay. I mean, maybe for you. Hot chick who purposely dresses down and then wonders why nobody comes to see her movie, like you did in that lesbian movie. That's not what people want to see. I mean, can you not accept reality? People go to the movies, women and men go to see beautiful women. Occasionally you could throw in a beautiful man. They don't want to see ugly men. You don't want to see people who are hard to look at, but mainly they want to see beautiful women because women are known for their beauty. You could be one of those women. I saw you in Charlie's Angels, dressed up and with the makeup and the wind behind you. You're pretty decent looking. That could be a thing. Why not do that? But you choose to do other things. You're allowed. Doesn't mean I have to see your stupid movie. Skeet Ulrich says he was supposed to return for Scream 7 before Melissa Barrera's firing. Who cares? Hate Scream. It's terrible. Michael Keaton and Sean Douglas on exploring grief, nostalgia, and AI in Sweetwater short film. Okay. Connie Chung. Remember her? Slams CBS News greedy owners amid Barry Weiss takeover. Truth doesn't hold value anymore. Oh, in other words, like, not enough people are complaining about Trump. Barry Weiss, for those of you who don't know, was pretty lefty and worked at the New York Times. But it was so bad at the New York Times, she quit and wrote an op-ed about how incredibly communist the New York Times was, basically. And now, you know, she went off and did her own thing, and now she's been asked to take over CBS News because even though she's, you know, pretty liberal, she is mostly a good journalist, I would say. I haven't seen a tremendous amount of stuff she's done, you know, beyond that, but she seems to be bringing order to the force, as it will. And now Connie Chung is slamming her because who cares? She was like a newscaster like eons ago. I think she's retired. Alex Ogle, anyone who uses capitalist as a pejorative doesn't know what he's talking about. Yeah, that was my take. Like the moment she said capitalist, I'm like, all right. You can go now. You've said it. All you need to say. Let's see. Viva Verdi reveals how great opera composer made dreams come true at a retirement community for musicians. Contenders documentary. Oh, that sounds nice. All right. Martin Parr dies. Influential documentary photographer. I almost said documentary. My girlfriend says documentary for some reason. Photographer and chronicle of British life, was 73. What is this? The Hemingway directors Evan Mathis and Patrick Sean O'Brien capture the truth and humor of ALS Contenders documentary. The Hemingway. Sounds like you're honing in on my territory, but I'll let it go. Over at Cosmic Book News, Trump reportedly backing Netflix deal as Paramount's David Ellison blunders. Uh-oh. Yeah, it might all be over. Alex Ogle, at least America doesn't have the BBC or the CBC. Yes, we do not. We don't have official state media. We just have media that's been ideologically captured that might as well be state media. Aliens vs. Predator reboot killed by Badlands box office flop? Let's hope so. James Gunn releases Supergirl teaser trailer full of teaser drops this week. Zack Snyder teases many more stories together with new Henry Cavill Superman image. Okay, bring back Zack Snyder. I don't care anymore. I'm so sick of seeing this headline. All right, Zack Snyder has another still. Who cares? Just bring him back or don't. I don't care. Zack is not the guy to write the script. I know that. His visuals are great. His screenwriting, not so much, in my opinion. Mia Goth says Marvel's Blade unraveled. Yeah, we know. Landman is renewed for season 3. It's got record viewership. The Boys final season drops on the 8th of April. And that's a show that kind of went into the toilet, in my view. And apparently James Gunn's contract has been extended, so we could look forward to more James Gunn. So we might get that Peacemaker season 3 after all. Oh boy. I can't wait to hear James Gunn's opinions on Bad Guys from Germany again. Will he say they're bad? The Wrap. Let's see. More on Five Nights at Freddy's. 3 best movies to watch on HBO Max this weekend. All right, let's see if they're any good. Gone Girl. I heard that was good. Millennium Actress. Don't know that. The Shop Around the Corner, 1940. Well, it's got Jimmy Stewart. Might be okay. So there you go. That's HBO Max, everybody. Yeah, that's what Netflix bought. Wow. It's devastating. Daniel Radcliffe hints at possible Cursed Child stage reunion with Tom Felton. Oh, I guess he wants to get in on what Tom Felton's been doing. Tom Felton's a fan favorite. Daniel Radcliffe, I don't know if he's a fan favorite anymore, but... Why Oscar-nominated director abandoned another movie to make the voice of Hind Rajab. I don't know what that is. Tucker Carlson says he plans to buy a home in Doha, defends Qatar hosting Hamas. I'm an American. I'll be wherever I want. Yeah, you might as well live next to your boss and where you work. So, enjoy. Over at That Park Place, Saudi Arabia, EA takeover sparks fears over creative direction and inclusion. Again, who cares? I don't care about EA. I don't give a rat's a. Make the games based. Don't jam them full of propaganda, or else the internet will have your balls. Frozen Ever After to close for refurbishment at Epcot to finally fix animatronic faces. Okay? Why is every friggin' headline about Disney about a repair? Alex Ogle, The Boys makes me glad I canceled my Prime subscription. Even Clarkson's Farm can't persuade me back. Jason Bateman had no idea he was in Zootopia, Better Zoothether at Disney World. Well, that's weird. And a new short film announced for K-pop Demon Hunters. I know you guys love that. Over at Breitbart, owner of Pro Ice Idaho Saloon, undeterred by violent threats, we're not backing down. I believe he offered a free beer if you captured or called in an illegal alien or something. Yeah. Free beer to citizens willing to help U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement identify and deport illegal aliens. Star Wars, Sam Altman wants to buy a rocket company to take on Elon Musk's SpaceX. Go ahead. Over at Entertainment, I talked about this yesterday. Trump did a Kennedy Senator's Honors. And you see, Gene Simmons was like the headliner. And one of the people he gave an award to was Sylvester Stallone. Why they didn't immediately go to Stallone is just beyond me. Like, isn't Stallone way more famous than Gene Simmons? Like, Gene Simmons is known in his realm, but Stallone is bigger, I think. It was weird. They kind of put Stallone in the background of the shot and didn't even mention him in the lineup. They mentioned Gene Simmons, George Strait, and Gloria Gaynor, and didn't mention Stallone until you read the article in the New York Post. John Cena regrets groveling apology to China for calling Taiwan a country. I pissed off my home country. You sure did, John, and that's why I don't see your movies. Go F yourself. Yeah, keep apologizing. And, like, take an acting class. I mean, take one. Take one, get an idea of what you should be doing. You know? Maybe make eye contact with people. Maybe, I don't know, change your voice up. Maybe stop exercising for 10 minutes and do some acting. Directors Guild to meet with Netflix as theater owners call its acquisition of Warner Brothers an unprecedented threat to movie business. Again, you guys suck. You all suck. And you're doing nothing to bring me into your business. Jane Fonda calls it a threat to democracy, but we can all ignore her. Everything to know about the Netflix Warner Brothers acquisition deal and what happens next, if you want to read that. I think there's going to be a court battle, but sounds like Trump's okay with it, according to these headlines. I don't know if that's true, though. A few times that's happened, and it turns out that was not true. Jimmy Kimmel's wife, I know you all want to hear this. Molly McNeary says it's a fragile time for freedom during a speech at a Hollywood gala, because nothing says, I better listen to this speech than a Hollywood gala and the wife of a late-night talk show host, because she knows freedom. Halle Berry pushed Gavin Newsom under the bus this week, said probably should not be the president. And Gavin Newsom lashed out at her, saying he should, after she said he should not be the next president. I don't know what you're going to do, dude. She's hot, so you lose the argument. Netflix rebukes cease and desist letter over its documentary about Diddy. I don't care. Richard Gere was raging at Trump this week. Actor Stellan Skarsgård agrees with James Cameron that Netflix should not qualify for Oscars. Well, they throw movies into the theater just to qualify. Just change the qualifications. You guys are in the Academy. Just change the qualifications. Just make Netflix do a full release of a movie. Keep it in theaters for however long, 6 weeks, 8 weeks minimum, and then they qualify. But you can't game the theater system so they have to pay all this money to put their movie in it. That's part of the problem, I would say. Added geeks and gamers to my list of things, but I don't know if there's anything here. It's all the same stuff. Yeah. Oh, Sydney Sweeney in the news finally breaks silence on American Eagle jeans ad controversy. She kind of backed off of it. So she said, I was honestly surprised by the reaction. I did it because I love the jeans and I love the brand. I don't support the views some people chose to connect to the jeans, basically. So she kind of backed off her initial, like, I don't give a crap. Made her look weak, I thought. And finally, over at the New York Post, more communism. In New York, there's Dick Van Dyke. Dick Van Dyke believes ditching these two things is why he'll likely make it to 100, all right? Place your bets. I would say it's sugar and whiskey, or like alcohol. He gave up alcohol and smoking in his 50s. But you did smoke. And you're still alive. People who gave up smoking still died of lung cancer. I think you just got lucky. I think you just have good genes, but plus he was always like really, really skinny. All right. Oh, look at this. New York's oldest woman still dancing after 113th birthday. Wow. Wow. Don't care about her. I don't know about that. Ice and flurries. Protesters hurl icy snowballs at immigration agents trying to cuff man fleeing car crash outside of Chicago. That looks dangerous. Yeah, here it is. Here's Sylvester Stallone. He's getting a medal, and they don't even mention him until you read the article. It's crazy. It should be Sylvester Stallone and some other people got a Kennedy Center honor. That should be the headline. I'm not saying that just because I'm Italian. Hegseth would have ordered second strike on Venezuelan drug boat as he backs Admiral Bradley. So that seems to be another nothing burger. Let's see. There's really nothing else going on. Oh, there's Cher and her 39-year-old boyfriend set to marry him. Okie dokie. Christian Slater reveals how he weathers the ups and downs of Hollywood. I assume by sleeping on a giant pile of money with many beautiful women. Looks like Hawaii's volcano destroyed a camera capturing a live video of the 38th eruption the past year. Guess that's about it. Holiday parade in California's wealthy American Riviera city canceled over ice raid fears. Okay. Would the illegal aliens come out to the parade and they're worried that the ice guys would be there? Like, if you're that paranoid the ice guys are going to get you, you like can't even leave your house. Just go home. Inside LA Park's zombie apocalypse plagued with fentanyl, chaos, and ice raids and death. Oh, that sounds awful. Oh, here's the picture I wanted to see. So 95 pounds she lost. Yeah, she looks a lot better. I mean, she's still got it in the face. She still, is probably going to keep losing weight. But she's got to be a lot healthier. California officials warn against foraging for wild mushrooms after deadly poisoning outbreak. Yeah, you got to know what you're doing. My dad used to do it, and he was good at it. He never picked up a bad mushroom, but then his eyes, he's up there, so his eyes started to bother him, and now he can't do it. But back in the day, my dad would just go out during mushroom season. He would get an entire basket. We'd come home, and we'd just, my mother would make something with mushrooms. It'd be great. I did not learn a damn thing about. I wouldn't even trust myself. Even if he taught me, I wouldn't have trusted myself. So I think we're just about out of headlines. Oh wait, some hot chicks, Variety's Hitmakers brunch. Sabrina Carpenter, Addison Rae, Madison Beer. Let's end on this. We'll go through the see who's dressed nice and who's dressed okay. Sabrina Carpenter. I kind of don't like her, probably because she kind of reminds me of that Bonnie Blue chick. She kind of looks like her. It kind of gives me like vibes. She's kind of cute. Who is that? Addison Rae. I'm not sure who she is. Oh, she's hot. Madison Beer. Wow, what a name. All right. So far, pretty good. Tate McRae. I don't know who that is, but she's pretty hot. Rose. Pretty attractive, I guess. Weird kind of looking dress. Sophia Richards Grange. I don't know who that is. She's pregnant. I don't care about him. I don't care about him. I don't care about them. Don't know any of these women. The one on the right, maybe? Maybe the one in the middle. Don't know. They're a group called the Marias. Never heard of them. Don't know who that is. That's kind of a weird outfit. Kind of looks like a bellhop mixed with a very ugly couch. Not sure what you're wearing. Don't know who this is. Kind of look like a very a see-through outfit, but like school marm yet see-through. That's the vibe I'm getting from that. Storebang is here. Santa Barbara representing. Don't know who that is. Don't care. Don't care. Don't care. Diane Warren. Don't know who that is. All right. That's it. We are out. We are out of things to look at and talk about. So I'm going to wrap it here at 9:55. Thank you for everybody for tuning in. What have we learned today? Well, we learned this was a very strange box office this week. Still somehow hanging on. Zootopia is doing well in China, but we don't make as much as money in China. I've learned that. We learned the Warner Brothers deal probably isn't going to matter one way or another. It sounds like through the headlines that Trump is okay with it, but that may not be true. I wouldn't totally trust that. Give it a few days and weeks. We'll see. I don't think this thing is over, but it might be. I don't think it's going to make a difference. I don't think movies are going to get any better in the theaters until they do something about the theater experience and the movies. Until they completely drop the woke stuff, like really drop it. No one's really dropped it yet. I think the first movie company to really drop it and do like regular movies again, like Angel Studios could, for instance, if they opened a comedy division, maybe they could make things blow up. I thought Daily Wire for a minute there could have done it, but they didn't. No one's really done that. Alex Ogle, good night all. Have a great week, Tony. Hit that like button before you leave, everyone. Thank you, Alex. But we'll see in the coming weeks. What's coming up for me? Oh, my goodness. Well, I got to do an event tomorrow. I got to go to my list. Yeah, I'm doing an event tomorrow at All American Assisted Living in Sewell, New Jersey. I'll be doing my talk on how to hunt the Jersey Devil at 2:30. It's for the residents and their families. And then on Friday, I'm at the Holiday Vendor Craft Show in Hamilton Elks Lodge from 5 to 9. Saturday, I'm at Merry Creepmas in Penns Grove from 10 to 4. Sunday, I'm at Thrillerdelphia Horror Bookstore. This is a brand new bookstore that just opened up in Manayunk. I'll be there at 2 p.m. and I'll be doing my talk and hopefully selling some books. And after that, I'm done for the year unless I may book one more. I'm in negotiations trying to get a slightly cheaper table. It was a little pricey for me. So I've made a counteroffer, and we'll see if they get back to me. So I may be doing something on the 20th as well. And of course, book 19 has to come out. Pray that I get the copyright on Monday. So for Tony D and Little Joan, thanks for tuning in. This has been Hollywoke Hot Take, and we'll see you in the next one.